Hello.
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 How is the sound?
Hello.
Does our sound good? Actually, tell me when you need that. Over here, because my light is the light that's like. How are you guys? Noises. Good noises, bad noises. How's the sound? Because remember we had that terrible thing with dual streaming where the music was always stupid? Yeah, dual stream. We just figured we would. Because you guys deserve it. I know this song. Where? It's from an artist called Equilibrium. Sound is great. Yes!
Awesome.
So I figured it out. And it's because I'm dumb. There was an extra, I don't know what you call it. It's an additional audio thing that's separate from an audio filter. And it was in the source area, and I just, I don't know. I didn't notice. Hi, John Miller.
John Miller.
John Miller. Hi, Spongy. Hi, Soggy. Hi, Lychee. Hi, Emily. Welcome, 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 welcome. How's your guys' Thursday? I'm all screwed up on days. Even with the Twitch streaming, not here yet. Still, I don't know where I am. We're still in unpacking, not yet work mode, trying to recuperate. It's bad. I've got bruises all over me. My fingers are still swollen. My fingernails are just destroyed. You know when you do a lot of like physical junk, your nails start splitting? And I don't mean like splitting vertically, I mean like horizontally, where they start doing this crap, where it's like, I don't know, they're splitting. It's bad. It's gross. What's your question, Soggy? Shoot. Oh,
Spongy's got the next 2 days off. Wow.
Spongy, yeah. Enjoy it.
So
Enjoy it so much.
So much artwork.
Yeah, what are your plans? Did you already make out like a to-do list of what you want to do during your days off, or what? Soggy, this better be separate from cheese. How many holes does a straw have? 1. Trick question. It's 1.
No.
Yeah, it's 1. Because it's just one constant hole.
Sort of.
No, 2 holes would have to, like, say that it breaks somewhere.
I guess holes, yeah.
Yeah. Am I right, Soggy? Is it 1? ATC trading cards, gotta make 4, Dream Traveler entry, painting sketch. Spongy, do you want to explain the Dream Traveler thing? I haven't figured that out. Is that just a dream journal? Like, what happens if you don't have a dream? Urban Witch Painting. Cool.
Whoa, what?
You don't know the answer, Soggy? Google it. Now I need to know. You can't do this to me. Oh, hold on. Gotta switch to a different thing.
Oh my god.
What?
Just like comic bags that don't have resealable things can go to hell.
Good job, Emily. Emily, you could maybe even do a Patreon with those cards if you wanted to eventually make money with them. If you just want them for fun, I totally get it. Yeah, keep doing that. But it's good enough. What you're doing is good enough to get money out of it.
They're not available to the public. They're exclusive. Only the coolest people can get one.
The most elite.
Yeah.
Okay. Gabe, do you want to explain what's happening today? There is a worldwide event that Gabe is going to partake in, and this is mainly why I wanted him on the dual stream, so he could explain it to you guys, and you could potentially partake if you want to.
So not to be confused with 24-hour comic day, which is it's a day where you wake up at a certain point and then you draw an entire story. Like, let's say you wake up at 10 in the morning, then you work until the following day, 10 in the morning, drawing like one whole story, right? Today is 24 hours comics day. I don't know what the official title on it is because it's kind of weird, but it's 24 hours. You draw like just a little mini comic, Usually
every hour, right?
every hour. So a lot of people do like bio comics. So like they just talk about what they're doing every hour.
This isn't to be confused with 24-hour comic book day.
Comic book day. I think that's what
Comic
it is. 24-hour comic day. I don't know.
There's
the
two.
difference.
There's a 24-hour comic book day, I think, and 24-hour comic day.
Yeah.
One is that one we did last time in October where
24-hour comics day.
That's today?
Yeah.
And the other one is comic book day?
Yeah.
Because you make a whole comic, ideally, like a comic book, for 24-hour comic book day. But 24-hour comics day, you're making a comic every hour,
No.
kind of about yourself, right?
24-hour comic day is, yeah, it's just gonna suck because I don't know. I think hourly comic day. I think that's what it is.
That sounds more right.
It should be called hourly comic day. But somebody resubbed you.
I noticed, Soggy. Thank you. 8 months. You might be the reigning champ, actually, for how long it's been. Pretty sure. Why did that show up twice? Anyway, Soggy, thank you. Here is Sub Shrub. I found him specifically for you now. I had to dig through some boxes. He dances. I should have him play the kalimba.
Mm-hmm.
Got my little Sub Shrub sized kalimba. I don't know how to. It's pathetic. I need something else. Every time I do this, I'm like, man, I gotta get a new gimmick. But I do like Sub Shrub. Maybe I could have like an animation or something. I don't know. Thank you so much, Soggy. Man, I love you guys.
Spongy, you really are a dream traveler. That's insane.
That's lucky. I wish we had that. You should totally use that in your art.
No,
I
but
mean, more than the Dream Traveler journal. If you
It
can.
leaves her perpetually tired though.
Maybe that's why you're always so chill, though. You're just like, yeah, cool, man, yeah, sure. I love it. Soggy, you are sweetie. Thank you so much for this.
No, I don't know how big I should.
It's a 4x4, remember?
Yeah.
And me, I'm just gonna ink this and then start coloring it if possible. I must get too much sleep because I'm always lit, basically. Except when I'm tired. God, yesterday I couldn't go upstairs yesterday. Like, it took me probably 3 times as long as it normally would to walk up the stairs because my legs are shot. Absolutely shot. It was so messed up. Like, moving for basically 12 hours straight almost.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, with the help of the Von House kids, I think we moved everything within 2 hours into the truck. In the back of the truck, if you guys saw the Insta story, was just flush. Gabe was able to Tetris it so well that it was just a wall. Serenity!
Oh my god.
Thank you!
Hello,
3 months! Damn! Thank you, Serenity. You get a sub shop. Thank you, Serenity. You get a sub shop. Dance to dance. Dance to dance. And Soggy. Lots of S-word people. Spongy, Serenity, Soggy. Thank you so much, Serenity. I really appreciate that. Sub Shrub! I actually want to do fan art with the Sub Shrub of myself. I don't know, is that fan art then?
Yeah, it's a property. You'd have to design your own sub.
I will design my own Sub Shrub, because that's not your name. They didn't call you Sub Shrub, they called you something else.
It's just weed.
Yeah, he's just a weed. I'll just make a cute kawaii little shrub.
It's John Miller.
And then
John Miller.
John Miller. It's the S is silent. It's Hyun Miller.
John Miller.
Hyun Miller.
Do you remember?
Emily, do you want to plug your greeting card Instagram again? Because you are making some dope stuff, my friend. We are proud of you. Also, since I was outside so much on moving day, and it was 20 degrees out, but I was like super warm, right? I wasn't noticing how bad my skin was getting, and I have pretty bad skin. My lips are destroyed. Like, if you got close to this right now, I jerry-rigged this to look okay, but man, like, I've never seen lips so chapped. They might even be blistered. I don't exactly know, but sections of them are coming off. So if you looked closely at my lips right now, it'd be like a chunk of lipstick and then kind of blurred to the right, and then another chunk of lipstick. Like, it's bad. And then I had a giant blister on my toe, and then, like I said about my fingers, they're just messed up. Like,
That's gross.
I'm sorry, I am getting kind of gross, but yeah. It's something else. But I don't know. I have to say, moving in the winter, if it's not too cold out and if it's not snowing, is really preferable as a second place to moving in the fall. The fall's like the best time to move. And then I'd say winter, and then it's really a toss-up between spring and summer, because summer's just way too hot and could potentially have warm rain and stuff and downpours, where spring has mud and just more rain, and it's kind of, I don't know, spring can be gross. But yeah, you know what? You could do a couple panels to catch up. Do you think about that? Maybe do like 3 panels, start at noon?
I know what I'm doing, actually.
Well, what time are you going to have it start? Are you doing 12 p.m.?
No.
Okay.
Doing 12 a.m.
To 12 p.m.?
12 p.m.
You're just going to chunk it?
Yeah.
You cheater.
Well, no, like a lot of people do, like, you know, because you're not up, you know, from like at 12 a.m. or whatever. Some people will go the full mile and they'll do like
every single hour.
Yeah, like they'll treat it like a 24-hour comics day, where they get up, or you know, or they stay up like 24 hours and do it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of other people just do it like, you know, like this time to this time I'm sleeping. So right now I'm doing like a sleep sequence. I'm doing like a sleep sequence.
It's also hard because we haven't done any work for the past couple days because we've been, you know, unpacking. And I mean, technically, like we were saying yesterday in Gabe's stream, we treat this like a job. So this is part of our work. This is one of our jobs. So we needed to at least unpack to be able to do this. Hey Max!
Hey,
Welcome. Good to see you. So we wanted to at least unpack to this point. I think the lighting is still better in here than the basement, because I don't have one of my diffuse, aka soft boxes on my lamp, and it's still okay. So there must be some bounce ambient junk going on. I think those low ceilings, like since I had a low ceiling and you had a high ceiling in the basement, that might have messed with our light a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's a lot more consistent, I feel. And I've got a thing behind me here. Like, I wonder if you can. So there's a whole bunch of junk back there. Gabe, do you want to move yours real quick so they can kind of see all our boxes? So we still have a lot of
I got too much
lot of
stuff
junk.
too.
Yeah, so you can see all our boxes in the back. There's
See?
your little peek into our world. Yeah.
Can you see now?
Yep. You're good. So we're still dealing with that. I did buy an air popper yesterday for my popcorn, so I'm excited for that. I'm a popcornaholic.
Mm-hmm.
So per Mama's suggestion, Mama Millipede, we'll be doing that. Lychee baby, how are you? What else? We gotta figure out when we're gonna go get the gym thing. I'm actually wondering if we should wait till March when we get back from Amkey. You know?
For the what? Sorry.
For the gym stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just because I think I'm gonna be hurt for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have box bruises. And I wouldn't say I'm weak, I'm just, there's a lot of muscles that I don't use, and especially, I mean, you know, moving muscles are different than anything else. I guess unless you do, was it CrossFit? The one where you flip tires and jump?
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless you're doing that, you're not going to probably be prepped for moving. So, and especially when you've got an emphasis on cardio and you're trying to get lean, and you have, like, no muscle, so. Aww, you guys following each other? That's awesome. Is anybody working on anything right now? I am so happy to have my own space, you guys. Like, it makes so much of a difference. Like, you know, basement's different, but like, being able to walk around and go in my own stuff and have my own things, it's absolutely necessary. I feel that everybody gets to feel that someday, you know? There's some specialness to it. Is anybody working on any art while they're watching us? Are we working on art together? Having a little art jam? Does anybody actually want to do that thing that Gabe was talking about that he's doing right now? The 24-hour comics day, right?
Mm-hmm. The hourly comic day.
Hourly comic day, my bad. Okay, Emily. Emily's going into lurk mode.
Okay.
Have fun. Hi, Christy. Oh, hold on. I gotta catch up in the chat. Looks like Soggy had a thing. To my dog make mountain. Oh no, Soggy. Oh, she didn't mean to hurt you.
Wait. The Max. Don't satyrs have like... They don't like typically have... Satyrs just have furry legs.
Well, they have kind of a... kind of like centaurs have the fur connecting to their legs.
Right.
It's similar.
Well, so what I'm thinking is...
But usually they're little boys.
Yeah.
Satyrs are usually like teenagers.
But what I'm thinking is just treat it like a dude with a beard with his chest off and he's got...
It would be massive neck hair, wouldn't it? Or neck beard?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Also think of...
just like...
Well, I think the problem is, like, if you're going to have a big beard and then he's got a lot of chest hair, like, that's going to look weird, especially...
I would pick one.
Yeah.
Either chest hair or a beard.
Or just don't make the chest hair, like, as thick as his beard. Just make it like Wolverine.
Oh.
Think of Wolverine chest hair.
Or do it like this, where maybe the beard hair is curly, you know, and has more of a floof, and then the chest hair is more hatching. You know, let's say these are nips, if you draw nips. And here's belly button. And then when you get down to the legs, usually that's kind of like fur, like this. So you could do something like that. Are you drawing a satyr? Because Tim's drawing a satyr? I know Tim drew a satyr last night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does he know what a satyr is?
Tim?
Yeah.
I'd assume. But like, you have 3 different types of hair here. This one's curly, and I guess you could always match the beard hair to the like leg fur if you want to. So you could have satyrs that have like long hair that's wavy, or you could have satyrs with beard hair, but I'm guessing if they have curly hair, one area. I mean, it's dependent. It's whatever you want. But then here, you know, you could just have hatch hair. Hatch hair. You know, something like that. That looks like a mean poodle. Who are sexual, Lychee? Satyrs? I'm gonna catch up and chat again real quick. Soggy, I'm sorry Delilah got your eyeball.
Oh, God. Ugh.
And Spongy, I'm glad you like your etcher satchel.
Yeah. Christy, hourly comic days, you draw a comic every hour. So, like, just like the crappy little comic. A lot of people, if you just go on Twitter and search hourly comic day.
You want to just put in, like, the hashtag of Twitter?
Yeah.
Alright, Serenity, you're gonna be lurking too. Whole day.
It's basically, a lot of people are just doing, what is it called? Biographical comics. So.
Also, I don't know the difference between, I think Pan is a satyr, a specific satyr, and not all satyrs are Pan. Because I think if you search Pan, I mean, Pan was a specific satyr in a Shakespeare play. Pretty sure. But yeah. A mean poodle. Where's the mean poodle? I don't see it. Oh no. Oh wait. Are his nipples the eyes? Then I could see it. And then these are kind of just the hatchings that like grr. That's messed up. Oh, a fawn. Okay, so someone tell me the difference between a fawn and a satyr, because I thought those were interchangeable. Oh, Roman equivalent. Okay, so like Mars is to Aries, that sort of thing. Why did the Romans and the Greeks have to like rip on each other or rip off each other? Because they just made it confusing for everybody else. Like all the planets align with I think is it the Greeks?
I want to know
Romans.
who took like why did they jump from like they went from like the Roman stuff or like the Greek stuff to the Roman stuff, right?
I think so.
And then some other dudes are like, nah. Now, see, the Romans took from the Greeks. We're gonna take from the Vikings. You know?
And then Thor's Day.
Yeah, and then like, yo, check this guy. His name is Jesus. No, I thought that was Thor. No, or I thought that was what's his name? I thought that was Odin. No. His name is Jizwa. Oh, yo, that's a dope name. What about his crows? His crows are awesome. Don't worry now. Crows are stupid. We don't have crows in the sand desert.
Yeah, Jesus can't have crows.
No. He's got a sheep. Yeah. He's got all the sheep. Yo, sheep are very expensive in this land. He is a rich man.
No, he's a carpenter.
No. See, he can build things.
See, Thor had a hammer too.
Mm-hmm.
So do carpenters. Just saying.
But then there's like an Egyptian dude, and he's like, you guys, this is just fan fiction, right? Of Osiris and
our shit? Yeah. You guys are copying us.
Yeah, guys.
Man, whatever.
Fan art. Oh, yeah. So, you know, they, like, goats and sheep are able to, like, they can survive on, like, grass, you know? There's a lot more grass out there than you would think. Oh, no. No, Fire Seal, no. We were talking about...
No.
We were talking about religions borrowing from other religions. Or
I'm
just
trying
straight
to
up...
stay away from my fan art rant because it gets crazy.
Oh, no, Holly. This is a fun discussion.
Hey, Holly. Holly, did you get my message? Because I sent that a couple weeks ago. If you want, I can dig out the shipping receipt. I don't know where it is right now because everything's in boxes. But I can go try to find it. But yeah, I know I shipped it out. No, Fire Seal. I ended up making a website so I can just kind of point people towards that instead. So I don't have to go on my breathless rant all the time because I always end up running out of breath.
You gotta learn the outward-inward breathing style.
So I never have to quit talking.
Of Tenacious D, yeah. So if you're just talking like this, and then you keep talking like this, and then you start talking like this, and then you have a conversation where you can just keep talking, and then you breathe in.
They would hate me even more.
You gotta wash the French press. No, you don't. It's Christy. Treat it like an iron skillet. You just leave that stuff on there. It makes your coffee that much richer.
At least rinse it. Don't listen to Gabe. He's gross.
Holly Rose said she didn't get your message, but that's awesome.
Yeah. You didn't get my message though. I sent it, didn't I? Come on, Discord.
Pardon me while I approach the bathroom facility.
Again?
I just need to rinse out my mouth.
Is it the coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, Holly, I sent it. So if you go check your Discord, you should have it. But yeah, I don't know. The thing with hotels and shipping things to hotels, it's very scary. I was a little bit worried about that just in general because I don't know if they even alert the person in the room, hey, you got a package. I have no idea how it works. You know what's funny, Soggy? The fan art website though is so short. I mean, I can just type. Unless I just did !FF, which maybe I will.
Guys, a week ago, that would have taken me like a full 5 minutes because
that's
I would have
true.
had to,
That's true. Our bathroom is 5 feet away from Gabe. We're very much what do you call it? Like, it's not simple, but it's just like streamlined. We like streamlined things, right? We don't need a big house. We don't need a big area. Like, the living room of our apartment is actually our studio. So where our computers are right now is going to be like our studio, our command center, shipping center, all that junk, right? It's going to be behind us. We can show you that when we get that ready too. But our living room, or where we're going to watch TV and stuff, is actually the second smallest room because we're not in there very much. So why not be in the biggest room that you're going to be in all the time, right?
That's
so
right.
We're very much making this our place, you know? So when we have people over, they're going to come in and be like,
this is like a work.
are we going to hang out in here? And we're going to be like, no, the other room. And it's going to be small. Like, fitting all of Von House in there is going to be tough.
I don't think we'll be able to have them over for fun.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
They'll come in and be like, so this is the blah,
Yeah.
and then we'll have to leave because
Yeah.
there's, like, not much space. And then our bedroom is the smallest room because it doesn't need to be big, you know? Yeah, Holly, and if you don't get it within, like, another, I don't know, week or two, just hit me up and I'll just send you a new one. No worries. I'll make sure you get it. Well, the site is called Fan Art Free, so that's why I would do like an exclamation point FF. I guess I could do that. I'm still not at the point to do an official launch of it. It's been a soft launch. I wanted to get some inside feedback from those that are closest to me that also are as crazy as I am about it. So we'll find out about that. What should I say? HTTP:// So I'm kind of scared to give it out right away, but you know, crazy is a good description. we're a bit crazy, I know, and I've got to stop being as aggressive as I have been in the past about it. I'm really gonna have to tone that down because if I start thinking about it, I kind of ruminate on it and I get crazy, and like the whole idea that I can't control things and that it may never end, and what am I actually doing about it? Am I making a dent? Stuff like that gets to me. I'm the type to always think about it then once I start thinking about it, and that's not healthy. So I have to step back a bit, not be as passionate about it, which is really hard to do. And yeah, so you know, it's hard. If you guys have ever been passionate about something and you know it kind of consumes your thoughts and stuff like that, it's bothersome, especially when I have such good intentions about it and people keep calling me entitled. That I don't get. Or like, oh, thank God you're here for your moral compass. And I'm like, what? Like, you know, just because people don't know it's illegal and then I point it out and they're like, oh, okay, here's the fun police or whatever. And it's like, I'm sorry, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a whole sect of different, there's a bunch of sects actually of different people that, you know, feel one way or another. There are some people that are like, now, I don't know how I feel about fan art and whatever, but you're being extremely rude right now. And I'm like, okay, well, you don't even know what you're talking about right now. So, I don't know. It gets really weird. So, I'm trying to pull back from that because a lot of people don't even know how they feel about it. So then when you get into an argument with these people, it's tough because they can't even articulate their points because they don't know what they're doing. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to take it one case at a time, you know. And depending on how good someone is or like the interaction I have with them at a con, I'll have to treat it different ways. Which can be rough. have like floor radiators, the ones that go around your room? By
Can
chance?
I get
What do you need?
the card?
This?
I might get the card
Card?
to chase.
Why?
Because I was gonna get my thing.
What?
I was gonna get my thing.
Right now?
Well,
Gabe,
so I
we're
can-
streaming.
I know, but it's already there. I'm just saying.
No.
Okay.
Gabe's trying to order something on Amazon right now? Like what? It's true, Spongy.
Echo chamber.
It's good, Spongy. It's weird because people nowadays get so much more offended, like Christy's saying, about simple things, but they don't know why yet, and it's like they jump before they think about it, you know? And it's tough. But I always come back to whether it's cosplayers or photographers, all that you guys are talking about, it's all the same. Like if you come back to like fan fiction, okay, think of everything just being a different form of it, because fan fiction, you can't sell that. Like for some reason people can better understand that, like, oh yeah, you can't sell something that mentions Link and Zelda in a book that's not Nintendo licensed. Yeah, why would you do that? Like they get that, but they don't get why showing Link and Zelda in a way, it's like that's not any different. And I get the whole selling cosplay photos is bad, but cosplaying I don't think is bad because that's free. You know, everybody's seeing it for free and everything like that. And I actually confronted a friend recently because he did Breath of the Wild fan art and he was trying to sell it, and I was like, how about not doing fan art? And he's like, well, I don't really care if people buy it or not. And it's like, that's not a reason. Like, what? That, you know, you're not even arguing with me right now. You're just saying something. So think about it. If you're talking with somebody about it, just relate it back to fan fiction, like why you can't use names or places and things that are copywritten, because duh, you'll get sued. You can't have that at Barnes and Noble and stuff, right?
Think of Twilight.
Yeah, that's why Stephanie Meyer had to change everything, right?
Or whatever her name is.
Or, sorry, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
I always get those two mixed up. But yeah, same thing. Exactly. So cosplayers, I feel like, at least they're not making money off it until they start selling prints of their photos, right? Of their costumes. Then it's bad, but, and I mean, there's levels of bad too. So you're not even supposed to make fan art even for free. According to that video, which I will link here again for anybody interested, this video explains the legalities of it, and you're not even supposed to make fan art for free, technically. Like, that's the weird thing. But at least you're not doing something really, really bad by, you know, selling it and making money off it. And I gotta say, I am starting to judge people based on if they do fan art or not, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like that is a direct relation to your moral compass. Like, what do you find important, you know? At least the people that know it's bad and they still do it. Because there are people that don't know selling it is illegal. And those people, it's like, be lenient with, obviously, but, all that. Anyway. Fire Seal, you're right, it is weird, but the safest thing is just to assume it's all bad. I mean, at the very core, my main argument is that artists aren't flexing their creative minds, right? Most of the stuff for fan art is given to them, and they just twist it, turn it a little bit, and spit it back out, right? If you make something like this is 100% me. These are all things I thought of. I thought to make the mushrooms look this way and put them here, and this is a mouse that just never existed before, and now it does, right? That was all from my head. And you can't do this sort of stuff unless you're doing it all the time. You know, and you do it all the time, it's easier to think of original ideas and concepts and to be able to just think of illustrations on the fly. Like, Gabe is a master at this, in my opinion.
And that's the sad thing, is like people then say like, oh, I have trouble coming up with my own things, and it's like, well,
it's because you never actually tried to do it, and that's where it gets difficult.
That part of your brain is fat.
Yeah,
and it runs out of breath whenever you try, so you can't.
Yeah, it's a muscle, So that's actually our main argument. It's not even about the legality part of it, even though, that does play into it, and that is bad, but the main thing is, these artists, they get frustrated with themselves when they can't do stuff, and then it's like, well, what have you been drawing? Well, I do a lot of fan art, and I like this, and it's like, well, there's your problem.
Well, and then more so, they get frustrated when, like, their original stuff doesn't do as well on social media.
Yeah.
It's like, well...
That's also why.
Yeah,
you're comparing it to when you post fan art. Of course that's going to do better.
Yeah. Imagine if McDonald's stopped selling burgers and they just started selling really healthy things. It's like, people are going to lose their shit.
Yeah.
People are going to lose their
brain is a muscle. You have too many ideas and can't pick one. That's a good problem to have, though, at least.
Yeah. Oh, I have... Yeah, no, shit.
That's why we always... I know it's bad, but we equate it to being a drug dealer. Because it's easy money. I mean, you can make... Even if you're not a very good artist and you do something with a popular character, you can make money off it. And we have seen this way too many times.
There's like...
It's crazy.
There's a guy that's local to the Chicagoland area that does a lot of like Transformers fan art, and because nobody else wants to take the plunge on a Transformer, like doing like because doing Transformers is very geometric, and it's like for most people they just want to be able to just draw some muscles that they don't know actually how to draw anyways. But when it comes to robots, it's hard for them. But this guy does them very poorly, but he still makes money because
it's true, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's easy money.
It's easy money.
That's good, Mage. That's good. You shouldn't worry about it. Honestly, when you're growing, you should care less, I feel like, about what you're drawing, so that you just get in the mode of that less perfection, more content. Because the more content you do, the more refined it'll get over time, right? So it's more important than just doing one piece and being like, okay, well, I gotta get this anatomy right, and I have to make sure this is absolutely accurate, or else it's gonna be worthless. You don't want to do that. Not when you're starting off. I mean, always bring it back to like babies and when kids are learning to walk and stuff. Think about how much you screw up. You're supposed to. Failure is great. Failure is super important, and it's something to be proud of. We say that all the time. Be proud of how much you've failed, because honestly, that's more XP to you, and you know what not to do going forward, and what does or doesn't work for you. It's important. But yeah, it's more that we care that, we've seen a lot of these people that get into the machine and they can't get out. Like that guy I was talking about, he's been in it so long. Every time I talk to him, I'm like, so you gonna quit fan art soon? He's like, I want to, but I can't because now I got bills. It's like, dude, if you're like worried about making fan art to pay your bills, that's the drug status. That's when you've gotten to that point where you can't quit even if you want to, because you're so in it. And these people do exist. And I know it sounds kind of ridiculous that somebody just wouldn't be able to stop, but they can't stop. And like I said, Gabe and I know a bunch of people like this. And that's where, to us, it's very important, because we're seeing people hurting themselves and hurting their careers, and a lot of them are really talented, and we see it, and it's an absolute tragedy, So when I get revved up about it, it's because I'm thinking about that stuff. It's not so much I'm trying to be a holier-than-thou situation. Because a lot of people that have talked to me, or at least online, that can't hear me, my writing is super abrasive. I suck at arguing on the internet. I've always been bad at arguing on the internet. Honestly, I don't know who's good at arguing on the internet. Because even if you're articulate, you get all your thoughts down, there's no guarantee everybody's reading it, So just arguing on the internet at all, just don't do it.
Oh, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. Thank you for coming.
Back.
We missed you.
Yeah.
Oh, good, Mage. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that is really cool, Mage.
Well, that's the thing too, Fairseal. That's a great point. Learn to take a risk because you forget once you're in the machine for so long what art is again. You know, you're in this safety net of, well, this is popular right now. I'll just draw this and I'll make money off it, and that's safe. It's a comfort zone to these people. So learning to be like, wow, I have an idea again. Like, it's been years since I had an idea. Maybe I should follow it. I don't know. You know, it's messed up. You did, Jamie, and it's funny because we haven't actually had a fan art talk in a couple weeks. But yeah, you did just walk into it. Don't worry though, it's not a heavy one. It's like I said, we made the website. I still have to do 1 or 2 more articles on there because there's a couple more things I want to get out. Because I've got a lot of the legality stuff out there on the site, but I don't have as much about what I really care about is, you know, the wasting the time thing and the creative muscle that you're not using that. So if I can get that on the site, I think that'll make it a little bit more approachable and just soft. It'll soften it, you know, instead of being like,
yeah,
I don't want to be that.
People.
Yeah, I don't want to be that. I want to be more the, you know, remember why you're doing this. Remember why you're doing art at all. It's because you wanted to. You know, you wanted to do your ideas. You wanted to self-realize these thoughts you've had. You know, stuff like that.
It sucks that some people will be the well, I'm just trying to get paid, you know, and those are just people that you really just will never reach, because some people don't actually give a shit and they just want to make money. They want that, you know, they want a new Switch. They want that PS4 Pro 4K TV, whatever.
But that's like the drug dealing aspect.
Yeah.
Like, I want, you know, the Benz.
Yeah.
I want the nice stuff. It's, you know, it's the money that is for sure going to get there. That's what people get dependent on. And some of these people are, I'll call them drug lords. Like, there's a guy that has, like, at the last con we were at that had him there. It was ICC, and his booth was like 20 feet high. And he just had character busts from here to here, headshots, that's it, of just a ton of characters. And not only that, but he was owning it so much that he was wearing a shirt that had all of the faces on it, and he had a floor mat. This I've never seen before. He had an exhibitor booth, which usually has like 2 tables and a little like L shape. He took out the tables, had a total floor mat that had his face bust on the floor mat too. So this was unavoidably loud and busy, and you couldn't take it all in. It was so overwhelming, you know, but he was owning it. And then he came up to, this is how I knew where he was coming from. He came up to another table that was near me, and I heard him talking to the person, and they were like, oh, hey man, I just wanted to thank you, you know, your recommendation for me doing Yuri on Ice bus really blew up, and I made a ton of money off that. I just want to thank you. The guy had never even seen this anime. There was no love there. Yeah.
He even said, I didn't even know about this. I never even seen it.
That's when you know it's bad. Where they're just doing what's popular, and it's not even like...
That's America.
I don't know.
That's like corporation America. But yeah, that guy was also at Come Delete.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I probably would have lost it. It needed that fan art. That's right, Jamie.
Mage, you're gonna
I didn't come on today knowing I would talk about it, so let's just say that. And I'm ready to stop it at any time. I'm just talking now, I guess. Spongy, what are you talking about? Misread the drawing dudes. Realized it's an ocean cavern map.
Oh.
What do you know what she's referring
the
to?
drawing dudes, the challenge for today.
Oh, Red?
Yeah.
Red's thing?
Drawing dudes.
Yeah, Red Jar Jam, yeah. I need to do 2 things since I'm fine. So where does drawing based on folklore or story fall in? Well, folklore and story are technically public domain. If it's pre-1920s, public domain. So like Alice in Wonderland, technically. What's the other one people always do?
Most things that are pre...
As long as no one has re-upped the copyright on it or no one owns it again, it's public domain. And there is a bunch of websites out there that say what's public domain and what's not. And like usually game companies will totally exploit that. So like we were making an Alice in Wonderland solitaire game for a while because no one owns it.
Like I know a guy that literally took the Moby Dick book. He did this twice. He took Wizard of Oz. He just took one of the Wizard of Oz books, and he did like, I think it was like 20 illustrations, and then just in color and just poured them throughout the book, right? And then he had a Kickstarter where he basically just reprinted the story and then just put in his own illustrations.
See, I don't know about that.
And
though.
that's it. No, that's completely legal because
whose prose did he use though?
Well, he used whichever one was
the original.
Yeah, well, whatever one is
public domain.
Public domain. He used that, and he made like a good like 75,000 on Kickstarter. Like,
that's insane.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, John, you can check that out. Public domain can be a good thing.
Oh, some of Conan. Ooh.
Are you guys allowed to use balloons? Since the ceilings are really high, could you get away with balloon advertising yourself? Where?
Oh.
Like the
at shows.
Oh, at shows. So I don't know. Maybe. I've seen people that walk around with a balloon on them so their friends can find them.
Yeah.
Which is actually a really smart idea
Yeah,
if you're in a crowded like New York Comic Con and you've got a really high balloon.
You just had like Pets in Harbor floating up there.
I would want to know if you could.
Yeah.
I know they have height limits on the booths themselves. So like if I had this thing behind me go up a certain amount, I think it's 8 feet usually, right? In most cons, I think it's 8 feet tall.
I think so, yeah. They come around and they check some stuff.
Yeah, sometimes they check if it's a bigger con.
Wubbles, hello.
Hi, Wubbles. I know a lot of people doing what's popular too, and I don't like it. Yeah, Serenity, it's bad. It's just for money, and that's when you know they're not in it for the art anymore. They're in it for the money, and their art will suffer. Another game, Witcher took the Beauty and the Beast folklore. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those work. Hey, Chev. I want us to have a pug balloon. Gabe would have a pug balloon for sure. Yeah. The pug thing's getting hard now though because Mike Norton is pugs. Our friend Allie kind of owns the pug thing, so it's hard that Gabe is also doing the pug thing. I don't know. I think that's why you're trying to do the avocado. If we could find a balloon shaped like an avocado,
then people would just come up for it.
If you guys find one like online somewhere, we will buy that. I think it's awesome.
And then I'll attach those, you know how they have those sharks, those remote control sharks? Yeah, then I'll just attach
floating avocado?
those motors to that thing.
That'd be awesome. How ominous would it be to see a giant floating avocado? It'd be also enchanting. I don't know. Yeah, Jamie, the only thing we have a problem with that is that you're wasting time, technically. You know, fan art is good for training wheels, and someone got really mad at me about that when I said training wheels, but really it is. Like, think about it, that you're not thinking much about it. You know, with the sculpting, I guess, because it's not your primary, like, art focus, it's okay. But training wheels, right? You were probably trying to figure out how to do something. Yeah, you weren't doing it, you know, for any other reason, really, I'm guessing, but that time you spent on that could have been spent on your original stuff and growing yourself and your creative muscle, because the more you do fan art, the less you're using your actual brain to think about designing stuff, because something is already 80% designed for you. That's where it gets rough. Oh, spongy, what? Oh, it's an avocado floaty! It's a pool floaty! Click what Spongy sent. That's awesome, Spongy!
Oh, wow. I could just wear that.
Ooh, Christy, Romanian ones would be cool. Not many people know about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Any tips on making a Twitch emote? Okay, so Wubbles, there is. Since I had to do this a ton for mobile games, there is, if you go up to, I'm actually open Photoshop. There's a way to make another new window that has the same document, right? So anything you do in a big version of the document, it's going to do it in another version.
First and foremost, are you using Photoshop?
Yeah, you should probably use Photoshop for this. Don't do it traditionally. But this goes for anybody, so I'm still going to finish saying it. If you go into Window, Arrange, and then there's another thing down basically at the bottom that says New Window, okay? You're going to want to click that. What that does is it just duplicates the window you're currently working in, and the idea is to make that window super small, okay? Like about the size it'll be, and then have the big version right there. So everything you do in the big version you can see reflected in the tiny version, because that's going to teach you how much effect one stroke or one pixel will have on a tiny, tiny version, which is the version you're going to use. Because not only that, but you submit 3 versions of different sizes, and the smallest one is basically for mobile. So if you're not used to working on icons and just doing iconography in general, you need to do this, because it's going to teach you a lot about micro stuff and how much something you do this big actually translates to being smaller. Okay, well, so Wubbles, you don't have Photoshop at all? Because you're gonna, the problem with using the iPad and Procreate is you're gonna have to go back and forth. You're gonna have to submit it, see how it looks, see that, oh dang it, it looks weird at this size. Go back through Procreate, resubmit it, and the submission process takes at least a week and a half or so to actually be put up. So just know that when you're ready to submit your Twitch emote, it's gonna take like a week. And I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
It happened for both of us. Yeah, Jamie, that's great too. Double window for values. Yeah.
Wubbles, you might want to, buy Fire Seal.
The shrinking the canvas is kind of like, it doesn't reflect it as well because it's also live time, right? So it's not going to be fully accurate. A more accurate thing to do would be to save that, make a new canvas, paste in what a flattened version of your pre one, and then shrink it down, and then make sure it like reconstitutes so you can see what it looks like. Because the live zooming and everything isn't accurate. It's just doing a preview.
Wubbles, do you have a...
Bye, Fire Steel.
You got a regular computer at all, maybe?
Yeah, what have you been streaming on, Wubbles?
You're on your Mac, right? There's got to be, try looking up, there might be some programs that are for pixel making, for like sprite, to make sprites. That might be a little bit easier.
Because it's going to save you a lot more time if you can just look while it's doing it.
Maybe somebody, maybe like Mage knows about, somebody in our chat knew about an app for, like it's a free app for making sprites.
Is it that it starts with a G?
GIMP?
Yeah, is it GIMP?
No, I don't think it was GIMP. It's like a legit, not legit, but I mean like a lot of people use it for sprite animations.
Toonbo?
Nah.
Wubbles, you might want to get Photoshop. If you get the photography one, it's only $10 a month. And that might help you in the long run too. If you end up wanting to do conventions and stuff, you're gonna need it for prints and all that junk. Like, it'll just be better for you to have it and to also be practicing with it, because remember, you want that balance of traditional and digital if possible.
Yeah,
so,
you definitely need to start working on your digital work, because especially if you're trying to make art your career. Like, I can tell you right now, being a traditional artist, a successful traditional artist, is not going to happen.
Emotes work well like pixel art when not super legible. Mage, I don't know what you're meaning. I sometimes like doing fan art that I try and use as a painting as just as a font. Holly, yeah. Just remember that you don't want to pour too much into that, because the more time you're doing fan art at all, it's the less time you're thinking about design. So if you were thinking about actually doing practice painting, I guess it depends on what you're practicing, because I can't honestly think of a good reason to use fan art in any case to do that. If you're doing a color study, pick something else.
Pick
Pick
like
something
a real,
in real life.
Yeah, pick something in real life.
There's no reason to do fan art other than to get out some like love for something and then just be done with it. You know, like I've been there. If you look at my Instagram, there was a time when I did a ton of fan art, but it was just for me and I didn't sell it. Like, I didn't make prints, nothing like that. But really, for practice, I don't see a reason for that you couldn't get from something else.
The biggest problem you're gonna face, though, Holly, is that people are gonna keep looking at all these practice things you're doing. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I wish you would do more of that." And then when you're trying to do like your original stuff, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is cute, but hey, are you gonna do any more fan art?" And it's like, well.
Hi, Red. Hey, Red.
Red.
No, traditional artists are great, Spongy. I'm just saying it's more beneficial to have a balance, but traditional will always, I think, be more well respected. You're gonna have a lot more skill with it. It's gonna take you farther than digital will. So the only reason I'm saying to know some digital is to be able to take your traditional work and appropriately put it through digital to be able to make prints and stuff like that, you know, to make it into books. It's just good to be somewhat savvy on that level. Yeah, but Holly, that's a waste of time, isn't it? That you could, I mean, all those things that were fan art could have been you thinking of something.
Not to mention, you could sell all of the things that you do that aren't fan art.
Do you want to fix your camera? Look at where you are right now. And bring it, like, you could zoom in too if you wanted to.
No.
No? Yeah, it's just good to have a balance, especially in this day and age. You kind of have to know everything, unfortunately. However, if I had to choose, like if I had to say digital or traditional for you, like always traditional, because that's going to take you farther and teach you more about art in general than digital ever will.
Yeah, keep it 25, like 75-25, because
yeah, absolutely that. Yeah, have 2/3 at least that are traditional and 1/3 that's digital, something like that, or 3/4.
Because man, like we know people that don't know a damn thing about
digital
like,
and it
stuff.
Hurts them.
Yeah, they are like stuck in their art career.
It's
right
like
now.
if your mom or dad, you know, that doesn't know how to do computers, all of a sudden was like, I want to take this photo and put it here, and how do I do that? You know, there are some artists that are still at that level. It's like you want to be a little bit smarter where you know how to take a photo or an illustration rather and scan it and be able to turn that into a print. At least learn that much and you'll be good. Like that's all you really need to know, and know how to balance your colors, stuff like that, because that's a big learning curve that a lot of artists take a lot of time to actually master. Because what you scan in isn't necessarily always what you're going to get out. And then you're even above it if you can take a traditional piece and make it better using digital. As I say digital. Like I see digital more as a post-processing tool rather than a primary art medium. Granted, I know some people can make some really amazing things, but I would like to see any of those people actually do the same thing with pencil, you know, or something like that, where they know the basics. Because a lot of really good digital painters I know can't hack it traditionally.
Yeah, man. I mean, imagine like if you want to work on something and you know like you gotta go outside your house for whatever reason, you can't work outside. Like
I had a friend that he was like, I was like, oh, why don't you just start drawing? He's like, I don't have my companion with me. And it's like, so just take out a sketchbook, start drawing. He's like, I can't. Like, you're so dependent on digital, you can't even draw. Like, wow. That's scary. If anything, that's scary.
Like imagine going someplace like really nice and you're like, man, I wish I could draw this place right now, but I can't because I can't art on paper.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
Like, so it's just in general, it's good to have basics of, you know, knowing how to translate something in life to traditional and, you know, take it a step further and be able to make that digital and then be able to sell that, you know? So I feel like as an artist nowadays, you have to know how to turn whatever you make into a bunch of different things. Like maybe you do a series and you're like, man, this would be a really cute calendar. Like figure out how to do that. You know, it's worth it.
Grandpa artist.
Grandpa artist extraordinaire. Well, I'd still rather have you be that though than primarily digital, Red.
Well, then not necessarily soggy. I know some people that like.
Oh, bye, John.
Bye, John. I know some people that have jumped from being traditional straight into like digital, and took them a week, and then they were like pumping out awesome stuff because they know their shit.
So Serenity, on my last stream, I showed really quick ways to sketch something out without using paper. It was using one of those eraser pad things, or get a whiteboard. It's the same thing. You're just getting things out. You're not wasting anything, really. If you don't want to waste the pen either, get one of those erase boards that either you slide the thingy or you lift up the paper and it erases it. I think they're made out of magnets. But you can get a lot out of that, and that's a way to quickly get down stuff without using, you know, whatever, and not, you don't need a tablet, you don't need a computer, you know, like, the only reason digital is good for that right now is because no one's thinking of these other things like, oh, I could use a whiteboard, or I could use that erase thing, I don't know what it's called.
I think character designs, I like using digital too.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying there are other things too. Oh, thank you, Greg.
Oh, what's up, Greg?
Greg, you're a sweetie, thank you. Hello, Blackbeard,
What's
how
up,
are you?
Blackbeard? Oh, cool. Yeah, mind maps.
Yeah, Gabe and I think have, how many total, like 5?
Yeah, whiteboards?
Yeah, we have a lot of whiteboards. I have one for commissions, I've got one for to-do lists, I've got one for a weekly to-do list, I've got one for a year. Like, it's a whole year list. It's good, Mage. Good for you. Oh, cool, Spongy D&D mask.
Oh, Serenity, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that they made them either, but...
We're good, Greg. We have bad news, though. We moved from Waukesha to Oshkosh, so we won't be seeing you at the Denny's anymore. I apologize. We actually moved Tuesday. So it's been 2 days, and we're settling in, but, yeah, it's been crazy. But already I can tell this is probably one of the best places I've ever lived. Because I have so much freedom, I feel like I'm in charge of my own domain. Which I didn't even feel that, honestly, when I had a house. Like, I owned a house, and I really didn't feel like it was mine. Because I primarily wasn't in charge of a lot of the money that was going into it, so I really never felt like it was mine. But yeah. Oh, there you go, Red. Close it right before the TV. There you go. I sometimes feel a little bit guilty for wasting paper, so I try to, like, not do a bunch of crap on that type of paper. I'll usually, like I said, use a whiteboard, or newsprint is also very cheap. You can get a little pad of newsprint for pretty cheap. But yeah, I usually try to use other means just because I can waste paper like nobody's business, so I try not to. Especially with my post-it note addiction. Is anybody else addicted to post-it notes? Like right now my desk doesn't look like my desk because it's clean. There's no post-its on it. Yeah, Mage, I'm with you on that. Take a picture of it. Aw, Spongy. Well, I figured wherever I went with Gabe, I would be home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I felt like that. But still, there was too much noise. And I don't just mean noise like audibly, I mean just noise. There's too much happening. It was too busy all the time. There were too many people doing too many things, and I'm of the mindset where I always seem to include myself in things even if I'm not there. And I would get worried about stuff, and you know, are people locking doors, are burners being turned off, stuff like that, and it just drove me crazy. So me and roommates don't really mix in general, and I've been through enough roommate situations where it's like I was done with that. Yeah, post-it notes. Oh, Serenity, don't use printer paper to color with markers.
Oh no.
This goes for anybody. If you are practicing markers of any kind, do not use printer paper. Because if you think about it, printer paper is made to suck up ink. You are going to go through your markers twice as quick, if not more.
Yeah, it really
you gotta
sucks them up
get
quicker.
either marker paper or paper that kind of resembles marker paper. Like this paper does not suck up, you know, like a printer paper would. But yeah, you're gonna, I don't know, man. Index cards, yeah. Yeah, Mage, that's a good point. Game nights, it's true. I'm glad you like it, Jamie. Yeah, I ended up getting a tiny one too. This one's for conventions. It's really itty bitty. I love it. I'm glad you like it. My big one's just for home. Oh, that's okay, Christy. Yes, having the kitchen and bathroom free all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, that's really nice. And I bet they're happier now, too, because, you know, there were 7 people total. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Less shit.
You know, and Tim actually gets to use the refrigerator again, where I think he was using a wine cooler thing. It was like a little... It's like a fridge for wine, but he was using that to keep his food in. So now I think he actually gets to use the fridge, so that'll be nice for him. But yeah, I think there is a cap on how big your house is and how many people you should probably have there. I think 5 was fine there, but 7 is just, it's too much. It is a nice big house, but still, I think there should be a little bit of a limit depending on, you know, capacity and all that. How's your stuff going, Gabe? What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
Good. My back hurts still.
But how do you feel about your art? What are you doing right now? What part are you on? Explain.
I'm like where I wake up, and you're like, coffee. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Somebody wrote?
Well.
Can I see it?
Yeah. Well, here is like 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm dreaming. I was sleeping. I slept for like 12 goddamn hours. And I kept dreaming about I always have off-world dreams where I'm like in different worlds. Like in the future. And I had a dream that I went back to school and I had to take color theory class or some shit. I don't remember exactly. But then at like 12:30 I had to wake up and pee because my pee meter is approaching maximum capacity. And I tried to sleep again. You know, like I tried to go back to sleep. But then like 1 a.m. ish, I'm like, okay, no, I can't sleep anymore. But then I tried laying in bed longer, at like 1:30, and then like 1:45 ish, I'm like,
No, dude, we did not wake up at 2. We woke up at 1 because my thing was set for 12:30.
No, but then we kept going back to sleep.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
I'll even check the thing because I didn't get the coffee until like after 2.
Well, yeah, but we were awake before then.
No, but we were still laying in bed, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Oh, we have a reward, neato. But then, you know, like around, I think we woke up at around 1:45. Also, like sometimes when you're doing these biographical things, you're gonna leave out some things. You're gonna put in some things.
To make it more interesting.
Yeah. it doesn't have to be like 100%, like realistic.
Spot shot stain remover works really well. Ooh, thank you, Jamie. Spot shot.
Yeah, alternate universe is the best.
Stain remover. Thank you, Jamie.
I'm gonna have to take some of that goo gone to the damn soup spoons.
Chrissy said you draw yourself so cute, Gabe.
Oh, thank you.
He was gonna do the bean style, but I don't know why he didn't.
I am, but it's like
It's a big bean.
yeah, I know, but it's I'm taking some liberties on the beans.
I like that he's a square and I'm usually an oval.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good, Jamie. I'm glad you had fun learning with one with Troy. That's good. I just never have cool dreams anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I used to. Not so much anymore. See, okay, here's another reason to learn digital. Right now, I'm screwing up a lot for just various reasons. I think my hand is still being dumb from moving. I crushed it under a lot of boxes at one point, and it still hurts. So it's shaky. So I'm still trying to get some of these things in, but I already screwed up here on the tail. I screwed up in his ear right here. I don't like how this looks more like fungus than hair. I don't like his toes right here. So I can fix all those things digitally too. Once you get good at it, you can kind of fake digital to look traditional, and you can fix things that you screwed up on, which ideally is, I feel like, one of the reasons to know digital, so you can fix those things. So that also makes you a little bit fearless with your inking and stuff, because I'm okay still selling this original the way it is, even with all those little screw ups and whatever, because I feel like somebody won't notice those, even though I do. You have to remember that people aren't at the same critical level that you are with your own art. So, this could still bring someone joy, right? And I mean, I could still get money for it because I still took the time to do it and all that. But then if I wanted to make prints of it, I can make sure those prints are to the caliber I originally intended this one to be. So there is a good reason to learn digital,
Serenity, I don't think either me or Ashley have ever used the Copic paper. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so we don't know about that. But
I'm very iffy about using any markers of official paper. So like Winsor Newton really screws you on it. So I've always been iffy on it. I find my own paper that I know works for marker, but won't destroy the marker. So usually for marker paper, you want it to be really smooth, really dense, really like thick, I guess. Like, you can hear that, You don't want it to be porous, you don't want it to be thin, you don't want it to be too soft, or else it's just gonna suck it up. You want something that, you're always gonna want something behind it to blot it too, because if you don't, like if I just did it on this board and I just did my marker, it would pool, and then it's totally gonna change how the marker looks. It's gonna get that rimming around it. You don't want that. You don't want that at all.
So in your case, Serenity, I would recommend, taking a sheet and print like something smaller. Maybe like a little, like a coin-sized area of whatever you were gonna print, and see if that works. Or just burn a sheet. Like just try to use an entire sheet. Usually, if I'm gonna test paper, like if I'm gonna print out something that I got a watercolor and I'm not sure about the paper, I'll print out just like I said, just a little piece, and then try to like work with that. And if it works, good. If it doesn't, flip it over and use it normally. Otherwise.
Or just try to find paper that works for you. Because the other thing is, all those papers that are like Copic official paper, blah blah blah, they're gonna charge up the butt for that. Like this sketchbook, when I was first getting it, was only $13, and I got a ton of sheets in it. Granted, it's not for sale anymore, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to find a replacement. But if you can find cheap paper that works for you and works for your markers, heck, why not, right? It's just, it takes time to explore. You have to be willing to fail a little bit. But like the other tinted paper, that one that's the tone tan that has the guy with the cowboy hat on the front, that stuff is not as good as this stuff. It does waste my markers more, yet I still have to use it for commissions and such. But it's, a hit I know I'm taking at least. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not recommended either, because it is so soft, But anyway.
Red always draws poorly so that nobody can say
It sounds like something you'd say.
anything. That's basically how I live, Red.
Yeah, you guys are similar in that.
We are the best of friends.
Whoa, Spongy, that's crazy. Don't sleep with a mirror facing your
Yeah.
bed. A lot of spirits come nearby. How nutty. That's cool, Christy. Work on them OCs. Oh, the mixed media blue paper, the blue sketchbook, I mean. Oh, yeah, just don't use markers on watercolor paper though. It's the same problem. It's meant to suck up. If you're using a paper that is meant for wet media, and you're using markers on it, I mean, just think about that. You don't want to do that. I mean, you either want to use marker paper itself, or play with some dry media papers. You might be surprised. Why do you draw my hair with that little curl in it?
I don't know, because you wear your hair up.
But it's not in a
I don't
ponytail.
care.
It's in a donut.
Oh, I forgot.
You slept with me the past 2 years
Sometimes
straight.
sometimes it falls out. Or
No, it
whatever.
doesn't. No, it doesn't. Don't lie.
Also, if it's just a bump on this is part of drawing so that people can recognize shapes. If I were to just draw,
good at excuses.
well, think about it.
Pretty
If I were
good.
to just draw a bump on the head of
If
something,
you drew it right, it would be clear.
no, because it's so tiny. This is like smaller than my fingernail, like this one right here.
But girls put their hair in buns all the time.
No, I know, but it just because it's so tiny and there's so much little
Just draw
detail,
a bun.
and it looks like such shit,
Just draw a bun.
then it would just look funny. It would look like you have a
Red. Yes, I love it. Thicker Bristol paper, is it meant to suck up colors too? I know you used to ink on Bristol,
well, I know I still do. That's
But-
what this is.
but I wouldn't use marker probably on it, right? Or is it okay?
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's actually flat, right? Like, it's really dense and it's really... Don't get the paper that's super textured. That's gonna hurt in the long run, I think.
Think of where Bristol originated from. Think of who used to use Bristol back in the day.
No one knows that. I don't know that.
Advertising companies. So advertising artists, what do advertising artists use? Watercolor, paints, or markers.
But if they use watercolor, we just said that watercolor...
No, I know, but they would use watercolor on there, but it still soaks it up, but like illustration board, like it's great for markers. But yeah, Bristol is basically like it's designed for markers and the inks and stuff. Actually, I don't think they used to use watercolor on there. I think they would use
Acrylic.
Acrylics.
Yeah.
And if they use watercolor,
Poster
then
paints, too.
yeah, if they use watercolor, then they would probably use watercolor paper.
I don't know jack about poster paints, though.
Mhm.
Like, I thought I knew about poster paints, but I have no idea. Especially after you found that Ghibli video.
Yeah.
It's like, what? This is crazy. I don't understand. What are y'all up to? Is anybody doing what Gabe is with the 24 hourly comics thing? What's the official name? 24?
Hourly Comics Day.
Just hourly comics day?
Yeah.
It doesn't have 24 in it?
Nah.
Hourly comics day. Ed, how's your,
No, Ed.
what?
I didn't see Ed was here. You say Ed?
No, I said Red.
Oh.
Red, if you want to pimp your thing that you're doing right now, your month-long thing, feel free. Oh, the Max thanks you for recommending Arches paper. Got some, it's awesome for ink and such.
Oh yeah, hell
Got
yeah.
the satin or sateen one with the pink label.
Oh, you got the pink label. I don't know the labels, but man, Arches is like the best.
Oh no, Christy, are you being sarcastic about the it's so fun? Or are you serious? I remember that kind of crap being really interesting. Like osmosis and like cell communication. It sounds cool. Very sarcastic, she said.
Mm-hmm.
Too busy questing. What does that mean? Oh, thank you, Spongy, for posting. That's what I was looking for. What's a dwarven spelunker? A dwarf that's in the caves. Like, spelunking is when you go, like, cave exploring and when you're, like, rappelling in caves and things like that.
Join dudes in dungeons. You bet. What? Lychee, you should get in on that.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Draw some lady dudes, Lychee.
You tired of trees?
Oh, we're glad you could be here too, Holly. Keep me posted on the package situation. I'll try to help as much as I can. Have a good night, though.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm tired of trees. Go for it, bro. Caveman. Cute. Red, that's adorable. I love it. Love it, I love it, I love it. What's your guys' common consensus on the Facebook on this day? Do you guys like it? Are you usually happy with it? Or are you usually upset that it's telling you whatever it is? I think usually mine is too much like, nah. What about you?
I don't look at it.
It doesn't come up at the top of your feed?
I don't go on Facebook.
You do.
No, I honestly, I don't even go to facebook.com. Like, whenever I start to type in Facebook, it goes facebook.com/messages.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes me directly to messages, and then I just click on notifications, and I see if anybody's messaged me or tagged me or anything, and that's it. And I'm done. Because otherwise, then I'll keep scrolling through people's stuff. I don't like Facebook anymore.
Yeah, I only do it usually to make sure my post from Instagram forwarded,
Mm-hmm.
but like when I sign in there, it's like, well, did you know this day 5 years ago you did this? I'm like, no.
Don't care. And I think that's why I don't do it. And I was reading something about Facebook usage is like dropped dramatically like in the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Zuckerberg is like, don't worry about it. It'll get better. And like the article is like why you shouldn't listen to Mark Zuckerberg.
I wish I could quit Facebook, but it's one of those things where if you're an artist, you're trying to get your stuff out there, you have to pander to kind of what everyone else is doing. So you need at least an artist Facebook. So in my artist Facebook is tied to, like, I think you need a personal Facebook to have tied to your your business accounts. Pretty sure. Gabe, you might need to move that.
What?
Is that where you want us to be looking?
Well, yeah, I'm starting to do it. Oh. Yeah, Christy had to delete her personal Facebook.
Yeah, I wish I could, but I actually get a lot of response on my Facebook for my art stuff, so it's a necessary evil for me.
Christy, just make a fake one. For anybody who hates Facebook, just make a fake real account, and then
fake personal, I think.
Yeah, then make your art account. Though I guess with you, Christy, you're gonna have that problem if you're gonna use your real name, that you'll always have your real name as
See,
your
that's
artist
another
name.
reason to use an alias.
Yeah.
It's better that way. But really, you need all these stupid social medias. If you want to be in the game, you gotta play the game, you know?
Hmm?
I mean, it sucks, but it's one of those things. Or else you get people all the time that are like, so are you on Facebook? Then you'd have to be like, no, I'm not, but you can find me on Instagram. Oh, I don't have an Instagram. Okay. And then the conversation just dies. Like, it's better to have the main social medias. Hi, Lycolix. Yeah, you didn't know? Come on.
Where have you been?
Where you been at? Times they ought to change.
It's 2018, dude. Come on, get with it.
I don't know if I have my needed eraser. Do you have a needed eraser right now?
Yeah.
Oh wait. I think I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it. We trapped this one on the internet. Help! I can't get out. Call someone. Alright, so we just finished inking, and now we get to actually color. I don't know how long I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's 5:30. We've been on an hour and a half. Felt like longer. I think whenever I get on a rant or a topic, I'm not really thinking of the time. Never seen a real life elves before. Well, now you have. Congratulations. This is a day to go down in history. Para you. Hi, Nano.
Nano, hello.
How you doing? Damn, you. Come on. Let's be stubborn. We're good, Nana. We just moved to a new city. We have a new apartment, so we're tired. Our joints hurt. We're sore, but we're happy. So that's good. In elf years, I'm 32. In real years, I'm 32.
Fun fact, it's the same years.
No, I don't know. I don't know what I'd be in.
I mean, isn't it like it's technically just
Man, I don't know.
like if you went into like
No one is like the authority in this. I mean, even Tolkien, it's like you can't give him like, you know.
Well, I think it's the
I
same.
could just say I have my own elf race and just say whatever I want.
Actually, I don't understand dog years. Why do they have dog years?
I don't know.
What the fuck is
Actually,
the point in
Spongy, if you're still here,
Oh,
can
yeah.
you explain dog years to us? Why is every human year equate to 7 dog years?
Yeah, like
what
that
is
seems
that about?
Really dumb.
Or did someone just make it up?
Or I mean, like I think maybe they just made it easier for us. So if the dog is like 8 years old, then it's like, all right, you're like 100 years old, you're almost dead, you know?
Oh.
But then but then there's dogs that can live for like 20 years, and so I don't know, yeah.
I'm just saying Tolkien isn't the official elf, guy. He made his elves, and his elves have whatever he wants them to have. If I say I'm my own type of elf, I can do that. Anybody can, because elves aren't real. You can't actually, like, you know.
Past expiration days.
0 to 2 youth, 2 to 8 adult, 8 plus geriatric, 50 plus. But why do they have that, Spongy? So, okay, Leica says it's because they have shorter lifespans. So, yeah, you're probably right.
That's
where
what I'm saying,
it's
yeah.
to empathize. Oh, he's 15. He's up there.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, soggy.
Well, I don't think they're ripping off Tolkien. I think people are just, it's whatever. It's, I don't know. I don't think anybody can really rip anyone off unless it's super specific. Because people were talking about elves even before Tolkien.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so why all of a sudden is Tolkien, you know, the guy?
Wait, didn't Tolkien just straight up just rip off Norse mythology?
With, what do you mean?
With like the ring and the...
Oh, you're talking about... Yeah, look up the Ring of the Nibelung, you guys. Tolkien actually kind of ripped a lot from that. And that was Siegfried and Brunhild.
Mm-hmm.
He actually took a lot from that. But yeah, he's not... I mean, he didn't invent elves. He just built on them. He made the most believable race. How about that? With the most fleshed out rules.
Yeah, that's so...
Oh, weird, Spongy.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
know
so
that.
weird. Because they, you know, they don't last as long.
What made us decide to move? One, we're too old, or we felt like we were too old to be living in the house because our roommates were all basically under 30, and we had this rift that made us feel parental, and I think that really started hurting friendships because we were sick of certain types of their shit, and I'm sure they were sick of us nagging. So in an art sense, the place is cool. It's just in more of a people sense, I feel like we were too old for it. Also, we were in a basement. I need windows. I was living there for 2 years without windows. I was underground. It just was really hard to keep going downstairs when you'd be out and about and it's sunny, and then you have to go downstairs. You know, it's just, it was this heaviness that was really tough. And also, since we were a couple and we were down there, we were paying the same amount that we would be basically here in our own place with more room, our own bathroom, our own kitchen, all this stuff. So, like, if the rent had been cheaper there for us, it would have made sense, but I don't know.
Oh, bye, Wobbles!
Bye, Wobbles!
Oh, you're moving to DC?
Oh, wow.
Yo,
that's right. I remember
Nano.
talking about that.
Heck yeah. Are you going to come to AwesomeCon, though?
When friends turn into roommates, establish a friendship and leave. Going through that currently. Yeah, because it's the same thing about, like, if you guys have ever heard don't work with your friends, it's kind of the same thing, living with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I've had friends, too, that I ended up working with in a job scenario, and they ended up hating me because I was an authority, and sorry, work comes first when we're here, you know, and it's the same sort of thing in a roommate situation. It's like, yeah, they all do amazing art, but when they don't do the chores, or when, you know, fights erupt and stuff, it sucks. And yeah, Jamie's right, the thud, thud, thud. We were also underneath Tyler, who's a thumper. I'll say, he's a thumper.
Hey, yo, real talk, though, we're going to have to get some Twitch shirts.
I'd like a Twitch shirt, yeah.
So that we can wear them at shows. Like, or, I mean, I'll wear one at the shows, like one day or something. I can't talk right now.
Nano, I want to, of course. Which post? Going to AwesomeCon? Did you ask her about AwesomeCon? Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, cool.
That's great, Nano.
Oh, you got new jobs there. Cool. You got it, mate. Everything's been done before.
Hi, Fish.
Fish.
It's funny because once you go overseas and you're at all the like museums and stuff overseas, you come back over here, and it's like if one museum has like Renaissance art, cool. You go look at that, you're like, this is not at all England's. Like, you get spoiled because they have so much of the original crap. So you totally get spoiled on it. Here are my really crappy little marker swatches that I keep all the time. They're worthwhile, man. I good to have. Oh yeah, I understand why you're tired of retail. That makes sense. What kind of job did you get, Nano? Are you willing to say? If not, that's cool. I'm just curious. Okay, but tacos sound pretty good.
Dude, we didn't get any food.
No.
Let's go to Woodman's.
You wanna try it?
Let's go, guys. We're going to Woodman's in this city. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's do this.
Guess my question before. Oh, I'm sorry, Serenity. What pen are you using for inking the line art? It's just microns, honestly, for me. I'm not as, I know, Gabe's more of a stickler about it, but
Even
they
though
don't.
you have one.
They don't blend with my markers, so I just always end up just grabbing for them. Because anything else is... So don't use me as the standard. I'm just using a plain old micron.
I mean, that's a good standard. Everyone uses that one. But definitely if you want to...
if you want to up your game, do what Gabe says. Yeah.
Let me... I'm going to get you a link real quick. Let me get you a link real quick. I can make you a celebrity overnight. Oh my god. These went up in price. Oh no, okay, cool. Alright, so there's this. So the pens that I use, which are these bad boys, right?
Rot ring.
Yeah. There's a link to them. You get, usually they're like between $20 and $30 something, right? But you can get a whole set of 3 of them, plus a mechanical pencil, an eraser, ink, in a nice little box.
Sponsored.
For,
just kidding.
for like $40 on Amazon. I don't know what it'll be like in Germany, but for anybody else, that's like a damn good deal. You basically get like a free pencil, free ink, and a free pen, and a half even.
Yeah, Serenity, if you can not find them, we could potentially do that thing we did before with your brush.
Yeah.
And get you some.
But even with shipping, even if like you got shipping from America, like that's still cheaper than yeah, it's like, pretty cheap.
Spongy, we're excited to meet you too.
Yeah, Spongy.
Come on, you totally are. We love you. You make us happy too.
We should just go to Ohio. Wait, where are you? Ohio?
What kind of food are you talking about, Nano? Oh yeah, Jamie, I could totally see that. Like going to any European country and seeing any architecture, and then it's
and then coming back
ruined.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamie, we did actually have a door shut out in the hallway, so that's interesting. You can hear that actually. Oh, the Max have found it for the German folk.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, Max.
Thanks, Max.
That's great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, I'm going to let's do this with me too. Oh, I want to take another picture of this real quick. Remember to, what's the word? Document your junk. Here. Sorry about that. Trying to do in process, Ooh. Yeah, Ohio was pretty interesting when I went through it, when we were there for OhioCon last year. I think it was last year. My mom was originally from Ohio, so I think that's funny for some reason. Like, I don't know why. Like, I never knew anything about it, though. But it seemed like a neat state. Just, the only problem, it seems like, is you guys have a lot of crime or something. Like, it seems to come up a lot in the news. Like, recently there was a really messed up thing that happened. I don't know, I just seem to see a lot of stuff from Ohio.
Oh, nice. Christy, you got Ethernet? Good for you.
Yeah! Ooh, good job, Jamie. Do that. Maybe do it in process if you can. Those are great.
Max, just to go off of what you're saying about the rapidograph and the isograph, the rapidograph is a lot harder to clean. So I'll show you here the. So this is the isograph, right? You can. I can't do it on here because it's just going to go everywhere. But with the isograph, with the isograph, which is what I've got, you can take this thing, you can pop it off, and then basically disassemble the entire pen, so you can clean it up easier, which is very important if you're going to get ink that is waterproof, because the waterproof ink will stain it and it'll gunk it up, all that crap. Whereas the rapidograph, right? That one is a lot harder to disassemble, and sometimes you gotta like break it apart, and hopefully you don't ruin it.
So you can't even really use waterproof in that one? Like
You can.
Not recommended though?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it just because let's say you don't use it for like a month, 2 months, whatever, then it might get gunked up, and then it's just gonna be a lot harder to clean up. You like the rapidograph more though, and then also I don't know, like the cartridge, the hole for the cartridge is smaller, whereas this one is a lot more wide open. I don't know. I think it is slightly cheaper though. But in terms of cleaning, like I've got one that is an rapidograph that is not as easy to clean. Though these are the rot ring ones. The Kohinoor rapidograph is those are really really good.
Oh, Mage, Dublin was great. Especially the Trinity College. I remember you freaking out about that. Definitely go there if you're going to go to Dublin. Dublin is actually very inexpensive to go to.
Yeah.
We were very surprised.
Oh, that's cool, Sponge.
Oh, right. Yeah, Mage. Cobblestone streets and heels.
Yeah, no, Max, you're right. You don't need to buy those cartridges. Also, the problem with the cartridge for rapidograph, you have to use. Jesus.
That was our fridge.
That was a fridge.
Cute.
For rapidograph, you got to use one of these syringes to fill it back up. So you got to buy a syringe.
But you can get those at like CVS and stuff.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Like they're cheap.
But if you get the isograph and you just have this ink, that spout, the spout is big enough to fit the. This spout does not fit in the rapidograph cartridge that you would have to ultimately refill on your own, though it does fit on the isograph cartridge. Red. Unfortunately, some of us, Red, need a finer tip.
Than a lammy?
Yeah, than a lammy. Yeah, the net... Spongy, did you see the net neutrality commercial that Burger King put together?
It wasn't so much a commercial as it was like just an info.
Yeah, like an infomercial, really. But like a really good infomercial.
It's more like a PSA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
PSA.
It was really well done, though.
It was cute.
Yeah. Soggy. It's good.
Oh, interesting, Soggy. You have your own rant. I didn't realize that.
On net neutrality, yeah.
Yeah. So wait, does that mean you're for it or against it?
No, I think everyone is... damn, I still don't know. I still don't know which... I don't want to have to pay more for internet to go faster. What does that mean?
Oh, Jamie saw it.
Yeah, oh, Jamie, you saw it. No, Max, I don't write. If I'm gonna write something, I'll use like a ballpoint pen or my fountain pens. Otherwise, a lot of the isographs I've got are like really tiny, so I'm not really gonna try writing. At least not like conventional writing. If I'm doing lettering, then I'm going a lot slower, so it's not that much of a problem. Okay, so anyone against net neutrality? Okay. So we want the net to be neutral. Okay, thank you. Just get rid of the internet. Okay, Red. But then there's no more you.
There's no more us.
I can't live without you. How do I live?
No. Shh. No. Shh.
For color variation. No, I don't know what you mean by color variation though, Max.
You mean different inks?
I guess, but I mean color variation. I would imagine it's like the color is changing. I don't know. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I've used tons of different colors. I've used a bunch of different, like I've used Noodlers, Diamine, Sailors.
Carbon ink?
Yeah, right now I use the carbon ink. I've used like tons of different inks, and they're all great. Like they don't like they don't get like super wet. You know, like where other things will like just pour out of it. Just pay me for my courier pigeons.
Courier?
Yeah, he's Red is starting a courier pigeon service.
Pigeon? Marker's going out.
Oh no, puppy. You dumb bastard. It's good.
But Red, this is my job. I'm an artist that needs the internet.
Oh yeah. No, Max, I don't use this. I'm keeping it around as like backup. Like maybe at some point I'll run out of black ink, so I gotta use it. Right now like I was saying earlier, I use which I don't know where it is now. I use I use the carbon black ink, which is like 1,000% like waterproof.
It's viscous as hell. It's almost like syrup.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's platinum carbon ink.
Does anybody else, I asked this earlier in the stream, but I didn't see anyone say anything to it. Does anybody else know anything about radiators and like floorboard heating or whatever? Because we've got those ones that go all the way around the apartment, and they're at the floorboards. And are they normally supposed to click and stuff? I want to see the fluff. Oh no, Fluff, no. Oh, he's embarrassed.
Oh no.
Yeah, they do that? Okay, cool. So it sounds kind of like dripping, I guess. I hear it in the wall and I'm like, shoot, do we have a leak already? But I guess Gabe was thinking it was the thingies. I guess it could be. When the internet goes out, everyone's job will be finding fresh water and running from Lord Humongous and Immortan Joe. But I am Immortan Joe! Don't run from me! I dressed up as a gender bent Immortan Joe for Halloween. It was pretty dope.
When the internet goes out, I'm gonna be the storyteller. That's gonna be my profession.
We're gonna be bards.
Yeah, basically.
That's probably about it. Gabe will sell his body, probably.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, Soggy, cool. Thank you for the verification. That could be cool, Fish. Painting with maple syrup and molasses. You're not a furnace specialist? Damn it, Soggy. Why do I even keep you around? You should know everything about furnaces. It's true. Maybe just the molasses. We can do without, or wait. Yeah, maybe just painting with the molasses. We can't do without maple syrup. We need it. Syrup. I wonder if the heater things are heating like the snow and it is melting and that's what that is. Can you guys hear that clicking, the tick? also found it's really hard to be working on like work and then also trying to unpack because you get in one mode and then you just go, you know, and you can't really switch modes. Kind of sucks. Oh, JD, that's awesome.
Mm.
Soggy, what do you mean just so I can bug you about my commission? You're a fan? That's Gabe's computer.
Sorry. It
It's
gets
really
a bit
loud.
loud.
I don't suppose you could put that on the right side of you during streams,
Not
could
right
you?
now. It's gonna have to wait.
Ow.
Unless I turn off my computer, I guess.
Don't worry, Soggy, it's coming up. You're the batch after this one that I said I was working on. And it's true, you're after that. You and Nightshade both. I'm actually surprised they can't hear that. You can probably hear the fridge, but not that ticking. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what ours is doing right now, Mage. It just started doing it. So now you've got the fridge on, it's buzzing, and then Gabe's computer's flying away. And I've got this ticking next to me. But it's still not as noisy as being in the basement was. And from the sound of it, Jonas was going to take over the basement when we left, so he seemed pretty stoked about it. No, Mage.
Oh, Soggy needs to find a game to play for him. Have I told you about our Lord and Savior Marvel Puzzle Quest?
God, no. I thought you quit that.
I never quit it.
You've just gotten really good at hiding that he's playing it.
No, you say that like every month.
He's so mean to me.
I just play like 4 missions, that's it.
It's better than what it used to be.
Yeah. It takes like 10 minutes.
Gabe used to be too addicted.
TOS, Tree of Savior. Nobody wants the Tree of Savior.
Gabe, stop being mean to people today.
I wasn't.
You're being mean.
I think Fish is the only one that plays Tree of Savior.
I would love to find out that it doesn't exist. And he'd just be trolling this whole time. That would have been awesome. That would have been the best.
It does look pretty neat though.
It's weird, we've never heard of it.
Oh wait, sorry, it just looks like Ragnarok. Never mind.
Oh, it doesn't.
Wait, is this Ragnarok?
Yeah, TOS used to mean Tales of Symphonia when I was
Yeah.
younger.
Wait a minute.
When I was young.
Fish, is this just... This is just Ragnarok. I've got a game for you, Fish. If you like this, it's called Ragnarok Online. Really good.
I don't know if it's still around.
Oh, it's based off of Ragnarok. Oh. Okay. So maybe they like... Maybe it's like DeviantArt was like, shit, guys, we need to rebrand. Tree of Savior! Yes!
Ragnarok was made by DA?
Huh? No, I'm saying like if DeviantArt wanted to rebrand, so they just opened up a new like art site for people to start doing things.
Oh. Shady art.
Yeah.
Though they did have cheesy art. I was in that. Little did I know that was a furry website. I didn't know what I was into.
Yeah, mage. I think I played Ragnarok for like 4 months, like every day for like 5 hours. It sucked. Many hours.
I killed a few slimes, that's all I remember.
It gets a lot easier when you're or it's a lot easier to play it when you have friends playing it with you. So that's why I was playing it so much.
Where'd you say that pen shop was?
It's out there. It's in Appleton, but definitely wouldn't be open.
I don't know, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, your own guild. Yeah, I was in a guild. Oh, okay. That's a cool fish.
Guild trip. I hope that was a joke, Lychee, because I think I got it. If it wasn't a joke, then I misread it and I'm alone in the world. Did you get it too?
No.
What do you mean?
No, but I mean, I get the guild trip. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that what she meant?
I don't know. Hey, Uber.
Uber!
We are good, Uber.
How are you? Of course, I'm off screen like a dingus. Oh, I was wrong yesterday. Today is the day we're supposed to learn about DragonCon.
Mm.
I don't know why. It must have been reminding me yesterday that it's today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's today. How you been, Uba? You really want to drag me to another grocery store today?
Yes.
Alright. Is it because you just really want tapas?
Yes.
I'm not gonna get any work done if we keep going to the grocery store. And we always go out at night. I wish like the sun would start coming back now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'd be nice to go outside. And, you know, usually I like it when it's dark at 5 p.m. But not since I haven't been outside before 5 p.m. lately. Oh yeah, no, I never go to the weekend. Go to the grocery store on the weekend, Soggy.
Mhm.
It's like my number one rule. We don't go anywhere on the weekend. Honestly, that's been one of the best parts of freelance is going somewhere like on a Tuesday at maybe 1 p.m. or something. No one's ever there.
We also usually go if we're gonna go out during the weekday. It's like after 7.
Yeah, so we either go before 3 p.m. or after 6 p.m. usually. Because otherwise it's crowded. Oh, cat's sitting. Oh, no.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Is that what you call crazies, Jamie? Yeah, fish, I'm of the same mindset. Like, I always got excited in Minnesota where it would snow for like 5 feet and you'd be snowed in and be like, well, can't go anywhere. Oh well. And it was dark early and all that. Wow, did you make me huge? Oh no, that's that guy. Okay, I was like, wow. Let's see, what color do I want her overcoat? Same, Jamie, same. I'm going to do. Oh my god, my legs are killing me. Maybe I should do yellow grass. Maybe. Oh, cute. Jamie, do you not like your neighbors? Or do you just not like socializing really with them? Oh, you don't want to bump into anyone? I understand. It's one of those things I'm really happy about living in another state now. I know I'll never run into anyone I really know. And it's a really, when you're like me, it's a cool feeling. I don't enjoy running into somebody at the supermarket that you went to high school with and it's like, hey, how you been? No. I don't think I'd ever be one of those people to be like, oh, hey, that's blah, blah, blah. Hey, how you doing? Like, no. Nope. That's not me. Oh, you're welcome, Emily. Anytime. Thanks for coming.
Oh, yeah, bye, Em.
Hope we kept you some company. Oh, no, mate. They want all your sugar. Oh, no. Well, we won't, we don't stream Fridays, but Saturday and Sunday, maybe. We'll see you, though, Emily. Have a good weekend regardless.
Yeah, Em.
I don't think so, Fish. I'm not sure. If I have, I didn't know it was called that. Is it Purity? Oh, no worries, Emily. We'll see you later.
Yeah, bye.
Oh, no, Jamie. That's so, like, I don't know, hilarious. She came back for more? Wow.
I need more.
How old is she? I'm super curious. Was she, like, younger, 30s, 40s, or was she, like, old lady? Oh, thank God, these are French gray markers. They work with my palette. You to 50, wow. So it does still happen. Well, Gabe, when did you want to go to the store then?
Whenever. I guess after we're done.
Well, obviously, Gabriel, come on. Give me more than that. Hi, Ushi.
Sushi.
Meaning, like, I mean, know when you're too hungry, because us going out when we're hangry is never a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have.
How much time you got on that piece?
I've almost got the flats done. But I'm wondering more now if I should actually do green grass or if I should keep with the palette and do like yellow grass.
Oh, yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Why?
Because I used a certain color. Yeah, I used a certain color. Yeah, screw it. I'll figure it out.
Do we really, Spongy? Because we feel like not rested.
Do we really? Oh, maybe it's the lighting. I know I have different lighting.
Yeah, it probably is the lighting.
Um,
Don't let it fool you.
I mean, I am more rested for sure. The past 2 days, I got a lot more sleep, but that's because my body needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe has taught me to not only to relax more, because before him and I were dating, I was pretty hard on myself to the point where I didn't know how to relax or when. So he's learning kind of my wavelengths of when I need to actually relax when I don't even know it. So I've slowly been being easier on myself, but at the same time, that might make me more lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And I've never been lazy in my life, I say. Like, I've never been lazy. Like, I've always been productive or doing something, and it's kind of made me an asshole. But
Wait, why would that be?
because I was never relaxed.
Oh.
I've always been kind of uptight.
Mm.
But like recently, the past 2 days, I was like, you know what? I am in so much pain. Maybe that means I should spend a little bit more time in bed and relax and not push myself too hard. So I'm learning still how to do that. Yeah, Mage, do it. I'm the same way. Oh no, fast food and 5 hours of sleep. Oh, no.
That's the worst.
Thank you so much for saying that though, Spongy. That actually
Yeah.
made me feel better.
Thank you, Sponge.
Oh no, Jamie, I'm sorry.
Ugh, gross.
I hear you, Uber. No, I really, I don't know, I've never been lazy, so it's weird to kind of be lazy now sometimes. But I don't know so what's the difference between procrastinating, being lazy, and relaxing? Like, what's the difference between these things? Because I don't know when I'm actually relaxing and when I'm being lazy because I've never relaxed, so I don't know what the difference is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, relaxing is like justified laziness, right? Basically, like, if you break it down, being lazy is just like, being relaxing is justified laziness. Like, you earned that laziness, right? So, how do you know though when you've earned it or not? Like, other than your body hurting, like, when do you know you need mental relaxation? You know?
That's like on you to figure out.
Right? And that's where it's like, okay, so some people must think they deserve mental relaxation a lot if they're playing like a lot of video games and stuff, right?
Sometimes, yeah. Well, then that's people who do it selfishly, I think.
Or do you have to kind of rate it based on how much you've gotten done? You see what I mean?
Well,
like-
what I'm saying is, I think some people don't think about those things, and they're like, I need to play this game and not worry about anything else.
So do you think the key lies in conviction?
The key lies in what kind of a person you are. Because some people will just not do their chores or not do their schoolwork, let's say,
So
and
that's
play
being
video
lazy?
games, and that's responsibility. That's being an adult.
That's being lazy.
Huh?
But that's being lazy. Like, we're trying to figure out the difference between procrastination, laziness, and relaxation.
Well, laziness and procrastination can be, one and the same thing. Because you could be procrastinating, but being lazy.
Okay, so then it comes down to just the one thing.
But procrastination means that you have something to do that you're putting off.
But so does lazy, right?
Lazy means that, like,
you
you
could
just
have
don't.
stuff to do, but you're just slow at it.
Yeah. Or you're just never doing it. Oh, yeah. You want to do stuff, but you just never do it.
That's lazy or procrastinating?
Yeah, I think lazy is like, you want to do stuff, but you're not going to do it.
See, I thought relaxing was not feeling bad about it, but I felt bad when I wasn't doing anything. So for me, that didn't work. Like, at no point did I feel like I earned anything, Like, I was really, really hard on myself. And I still have trouble nowadays with it, like, have I done enough to actually, earn time to just chill and watch a movie, even, Or, like, I feel like I can't watch a movie unless I'm working. That sort of thing. So I guess I don't know when it's lazy or when it's relaxing when it comes to me, I guess. You know what I mean, Gabe?
Yeah.
Like, how do I know when I'm just being pokey and when I'm actually needing it?
And that's one of those things you have to figure out on your own. Some people don't make an effort to try to figure those things out. They sort of just...
I know, but I think that has to do with my type A personality. Where I'm a control freak and I always have to be doing stuff. Or I've always been doing stuff, and now that I don't have to always be doing stuff, it's breaking me a bit. You filled out 8 applications yesterday, Soggy? Wow.
Good job, dude.
Just took today off. No, yeah, I think you could take today off. That's fine.
I think the problem is when people start to take, like, all the days off,
Yeah.
and they don't figure out sort of like a real schedule, or they don't hold themselves responsible for
So do you think
tasks.
somebody who's lazy doesn't know they're lazy?
No.
So maybe
Some
that's
people
the difference.
who are lazy might know that they're lazy, but they don't care enough to address the situation. Yeah.
But then someone who's procrastinating is usually aware of their laziness.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because they're like, I know, when you're procrastinating, you know that you have something to do,
Right.
but you're doing it.
I feel like being lazy is a person that can't prioritize well. So they, like you said, they don't know when they're lagging behind.
That's it.
Oh yeah, mage. True. It's very subjective. Per person, I guess it changes. You guys have good insight.
Oh yeah.
Good work. Yes. Good point. Very good point. TV versus gaming. Interesting.
I think ultimately, though, that laziness is gonna be very dependent on everyone.
Hi, storyboard.
Storyboard.
Welcome, 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 welcome. I don't know if sloths know they're lazy. Maybe they have a different concept of time than we do. I actually think every animal has a different concept of time than we do. Because if you think about like animals that move really fast, like ants and stuff, I bet they have a different concept of time. And especially because they're smaller, you know how in movies and stuff, people compared to ants always move slower? That sort of thing.
I think also
Their perception is different.
What's it called? The sloths move slower because they need to conserve energy.
Yeah, that was the main reason.
Yeah.
Is a donut actually a dough straw?
Oh.
Soggy, did you figure out the answer to that question? Because I'm still holding my breath here. I think the answer is 1. It's 1 hole.
Yeah, there you go, fish. They're same with lions and shit. Like they don't, they sleep a lot because they're so powerful that they, you know, like them running around, it takes a lot out of them.
I don't have my pencil sharpener.
Yep. Elephants eat a lot. What?
It's in a box back there. I know which box.
I have no idea where mine is. Actually, I might have put it in one.
Oh, wait.
Sure.
I've been forgetting this lately.
You
I'll
go.
take a picture real quick of.
You want me to sharpen yours? I've got mine.
Can you sharpen? Oh, that one's sharp. Yeah, just this one because it's got the wood going all the way out. So I can just Google how many holes does a straw have. Apparently you can get half calf, half decaf. Is that what it says?
Yeah. I did not know this. But that new blonde roast that they're like all crazy about right now, you can't do decaf on that.
Oh no, because light roasts are usually the most caffeinated. People think dark coffee means it's more caffeinated. That's untrue. The light roasts are always more caffeinated. That just ain't true. Ah, you know what smell I miss? Fresh grass. I feel like this winter has lasted forever. Does anyone else feel that way? It feels like this winter has lasted an entire year. You don't feel that?
No.
Really?
No.
It doesn't feel like it's lasted a long time.
No.
You crazy.
I don't like view time like that. I think I used to, but I don't do it anymore.
Just think about for a minute how long it's been since it's been like, you know, grass cut worthy.
I think it's different for me because it really didn't go out that much.
Neither did I, but I mean.
So like all the outside time doesn't really affect me anymore. Though I think it will affect us here because we don't have a controlled environment anymore. As controlled as it was in the basement, you know? Where it's always cold in the basement.
It was always cold in the basement.
Which was nice in the summer because, you know.
No, that was too cold for me.
Eat all the long clipping ones. You should get some Bean Boozled. Eat all the long clippings.
Yeah. Dude, some of those are like puke-worthy beans. Like the rotten egg one, I can't do, or the vomit one. Those are gross. I can't do it. If I remember right, the dog food one wasn't so bad.
Yeah, it just tastes like meat.
Yeah, just meaty. I wonder if there was meat in that.
Right?
Actually, we should have probably checked.
No, it's just flavoring, really. It's just like because it's like chemical flavoring. Fish, have you ever had a grape? That's exactly what you just described it. Or an apple? That's an orb.
Well, technically, pineapples grow up out of the ground.
An orange is an orb.
Potatoes.
Blueberries, yeah.
Potatoes aren't fruit.
Fish, I'm starting to think you're from another planet.
played it once.
I became a man that night.
Did you play it alone? Did you just sit down with the box and like, I'm gonna do it. Tonight's the night. Still haven't finished all my coffee. I don't know, man. Pineapples just like, they just come out of the ground. I thought pineapples were on trees. Nope. They come out of the ground. That blew my mind. The things I don't know. Ooh. What are you guys up to? Yeah, I thought they'd be like coconuts too. Yeah, good point. Now, this lady's blouse is a bit too close to her skin color, so I'm gonna have to end up tinting it later with a pastel. Because the marker isn't different enough to make it look, like it's not her skin.
Cabbage is an orb.
Where's Sniggle?
I don't know.
Has anybody talked to Sniggle lately? Is he okay? I mean, was he on your stream yesterday?
No. I don't think he catches the early ones anymore.
Well, I thought it was the late ones he couldn't catch. Because Wednesday on, I thought he was okay to get the streams. I thought that's what he said. Awesome storyboard. Good work. That's great.
Nice.
Good for you. That's fantastic. But carrots aren't orbs, right, Fish? Like, you wanted orbs. Oh, Gabe and I made sushi cake last night. Did you post that?
No.
We made a sushi cake. So basically, you take a cheesecake pan, you line the bottom with nori. I hate nori, but it needed it. And then put the sushi rice on, flatten it, put on a layer or two of like carrots, cucumber, whatever, avocado, whatever you want. Ours is vegetarian, so we don't put any fish on. And then another layer of rice, and then another layer of some vegetable of some kind, and then we put on sesame seeds. And I put on some cream cheese on mine. It's very good. And then just cut it like a cake. A doodle idea for soggy. A skeleton bus.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of want to draw that. That's really cute. In my head, that's really cute. Oh, it's okay, storyboard. I know how that goes. Cream cheese is so good. Yeah, it's if you look it up, it's really cute. Also, if you guys like sushi but you haven't had fruit sushi, you should definitely find a place that's actually really good and try it, or make your own. Basically, you just slice up strawberries, mangoes, banana, all that stuff. You cook the rice with a little bit of sugar so it's sweeter, and then you have like a mango sauce that goes over it, and you can put what's the garnish? Kiwi. There's kiwi too. It's really damn good, and you can have like marshmallow fluff too. It's amazing. Yeah, skeleton bus, go. Just think about it like the head of the bus is a cute little skeleton head, and then the rest of it, can be cute. Oh, fruit pizza, yeah, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar. Oh, it's so good. Could have a different flavor fish, it's true. Sushi bus. I like that two conversations merged just then. Sushi cake and a sushi bus. I don't know, I saw it on one of those Tasty Japan Facebook pages I follow. I follow a lot of cooking things. Because I love cooking and I love baking and stuff. It's just I never got to at the old place because I didn't want to be in anyone's way. I didn't want to use a lot of ingredients around people. I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable cooking anything elaborate there. So now I can cook elaborate things. Also, not to mention, I have a Cooking with Cloverkin stream that I'm going to do soon. Because you guys got me to one of my special stream donation goals, so I'll be doing that. The one at the bottom right now is for my third one. Everybody got me actually through 2 special streams. The one at the bottom will be for a third one, which the first one's Cooking with Cloverkin. The second one's going to be sculpting. I'm going to have a sculpt stream. And then the third one, if we reach it, the special stream at the bottom will be a puppet stream, where I'm going to actually finally figure out how to make a puppet. I'm going to do it on the stream. That should be fun. And of course, you guys are all welcome to do any of them with me. Obviously, it'd be great. June's Kitchen. No. Oh, awesome, Jamie. What a cool idea. That'd be a good idea for food deserts, actually. Food trucks that go through. Oh my god, my foot is just, like, my whole leg is dead. Is that me? Did you give me elf ears? What am I saying?
Don't worry about it.
What am I talking about? Oh, finding the thing? Oh, you spent so much time on that it made a panel. Yeah, cooking streams will be fun. Bye, Christy.
Bye, Christy.
Thanks for coming. What does it say? No.
I must find it.
Oh, you were very determined, weren't you? Are those cows at 310? What is it?
No, this is a little shitty little foxes.
Why?
Because it says hair wash day.
Oh, that's our shower curtain.
Yeah.
Cute. What's the next thing? Looking for stuff for Clover stream. Stuff. You didn't have to.
Fuck.
So many people favorite that pen, but no one ever buys it. It's so weird. Coming around door. Oh, you didn't take off the sound for the sushi cake?
No way. Because you're like, sushi cake.
I did, I am?
I think so. At the very end.
Sushi cake. Does look alright. Cool, man. Sushi cake.
He's making sushi with his cats. Oh, bye, Jamie.
Oh, cute.
Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
We missed ya.
I'm glad you got some stuff done, Jamie. It was good to see you again. Hope to see you soon. take care of yourself. I'm wondering when we should cut it. 6:30, so it's been 2.5.
It's about what time I stopped yesterday.
Yeah. But I get all dolled up for this crap. Oh, bye, Mage. Thanks for coming.
Bye, Mage.
Have a good one. Yeah, it's dark out. When does it start getting light out, man? Never. Kind of makes me think I could live in Alaska, though. Because I do actually like that, but...
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Ray for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how she's been.
I don't think she's been streaming.
No?
Mm-hmm.
She's the one with the army husband, right?
Mm-hmm. She's an army wife. Sucky. Oh no.
You can't draw a bus, you just need to be able to draw a simplified skeleton.
Really, it's just a square. It's a rectangle.
I was imagining it kind of like this. I'm not trying to upstage you, Soggy. I just also wanted to draw it. Maybe it'd be like this. And have little fingies as wheels or something. And then we'd have a spine. And then a couple ribs. And then the people would be in here.
Oh, I would have made the wheels
Death
heads.
balls! Oh, more skulls? I guess.
I would have
you
made
could
the
make it.
head skulls. And then it drives all wobbly.
Oh, that'd be cute. I guess what's a round bone? You drawn it too?
No.
Oh.
The pelvis?
No, it's a bit obscure. Maybe another vertebrae.
You said you could sneeze and upstage me, but that's okay.
Oh, soggy. I've done this for way longer though, don't worry about it. I just really wanted to draw one. And then the tailbone, and then more vertebrae. See, I picture the wheels of vertebrae.
Hmm.
And then maybe some teeth there. There you go. There's my skelebus. You wanna see my skelebus?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even.
I did.
Yeah, art does take patience, which is funny when you take me into account because usually I'm not very patient. But, you know, I think that denotes the type of artist. You don't have to be patient to do art. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it because I'm not patient, but I can do some art. Unless it's that I have patience with some things and not others. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's the part that kind of takes a long time to hone, Soggy, is to go from here to here. It's like a language. You have to learn how to communicate from here to here. Like A lot of Spanish I can understand, but I can't formulate it as well. It's similar to seeing something in your head and being able to articulate it with your hand. It's tough. And a lot of the time, what you see in your head, I feel like, doesn't always come out exactly how you see it regardless, but that's kind of the fun of it, too. Yeah, I think part of it is being okay with getting driven by a certain idea, but ending up with a different one. I think that's okay. And I think that's part of art, is just being okay with whatever result you get.
Basically.
Versicular. I have to take some con inventory tonight, or at least tomorrow. I'm trying to decide if I want tonight to be like more unpacking night or save that for tomorrow and tonight's just con night. I don't know. So Gabe and I have a con in 2 weeks. Because it's not this weekend, it's not next weekend, it's next weekend.
In Milwaukee.
Yeah. Because right now it's the 1st, and if I'm right, the con is after the 14th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's 2
3-day
weeks.
weekend.
It's definitely 2 weeks from now. Jeff Weber! Hi, Jeff Weber. Yeah, I always thought that was weird. I think that was just them trying to make sure you weren't cheating.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand what you're talking about. It's weird. I feel like for math people, they can do it in their head. They don't need to write it down. Damn. I can feel though with moving that I've got this inner chill that's starting to happen. It's interesting. I can feel myself finally like ungripping and just kind of falling off. It's a really weird feeling. Like I can let go of some hang-ups I've had, and it's really good. Like I can feel it. Like it feels like somebody took their like hands off you and just kind of, you know, it's very visceral. You know, if I were him, Sagi, I would be okay with people, you know, doing it from their head, but if I really thought someone was cheating, I'd give them a new problem and have them solve it in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they can solve it, they weren't cheating. If they can't solve it, they were cheating, you know? Yeah, Serenity, I'm starting to relax more now that I'm not... okay, this is the thing. So some people, you know, are introverts, some people are extroverts, right? There's also ambiverts, which I feel like I am, where I have introvert tendencies and extrovert ones. So, like right now, my extrovert side is going on, right? But in private, I'm more introverted, and then at conventions, I've got my extrovert side. Otherwise, I don't think I'd be able to do both if I was one way or the other, right? So, being an ambivert, I have that introvert side, and the introvert side usually needs to, you know, hang back after a day of whatevering, you know, and be able to recharge. The problem is I never got to recharge. When I lived with so many people, there was never any recharging because you could hear that other people were there and they could come down at any minute, you know, and I always had a problem closing our door because I felt like I was shutting people out, so I never wanted to do that. So I was always making myself approachable, and I think a lot of that over time really made me jittery, paranoid. It made me think that I had to be ready for anything at any point. Like I was aware all the time, right? And I feel like now I've finally gotten to like take a breath. Have you noticed it though? Like, has it been actually noticeable? Like, I feel like I've slowed down, I've chilled out a little bit, and it's just been 2 days. So hopefully, like a month in, I'm not going to be as heinous as I've been in the past, you know? But yeah. Oh, that's weird, Soggy. Happy to hear you were a good student, though. That's great. Oh, thank you, Serenity. Yeah, I'm very much like you. I'm kind of a lone wolf. I think the only time that it's ever not that way is when I'm in a relationship, and even then it's kind of a stretch for me. And I know Gabe can see that. Like, you know, you can probably see that it's a struggle for me to, like, what's the word? Just compromise with people instead of just doing my way all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm difficult, and I know it, but I guess he thinks it's worth it. I don't know. But yeah, Serenity, I totally feel you. Like, I had to go there because originally I had nowhere to live, and Tim was nice enough to open his doors to me. So at the time, I thought I was only going to be there a couple months. You know, I was like, oh, you know, maybe 3 to 6 months, I'll be back on my feet, have a job, and I'll move out and get my own place, whatever. And then Gabe and I started dating, and he moved in because he went through a similar problem, so we both didn't have a place to go. And then, you know, lo and behold, 2 years later, that's just what happens sometimes, you know. And we just got to a point where it was just too difficult to kind of not have our own place anymore and all that stuff. Because you really need your own place to be able to chill out, settle down. Especially, like, I was married, so I was already in, like, that nesting, settled down phase where it's like I don't want to have to go anywhere anymore, anything like that. And I think Gabe was kind of in the same boat. Like, you didn't want to be thrown around, did you?
Thrown around?
Yeah, to different places and...
No.
No. Like, we just wanted to have a home base and to not, you know, to trust where we lived and that everyone was cool there and, you know. Granted, everyone at Von House is cool. It's just, like I was telling you, I'm not used to that many people. I'm not good with that many people. And I feel like I might have hurt the relationship a bit on all fronts. Like, I would get naggy, you know, because I'd be like, well, this isn't this way, it should be this way. I was very uptight, and I think people got tired of me, so. And rightfully so. Like I said, I'm very difficult to deal with, and I realize that. So, yeah, I don't know, I think it'll be better for everybody in the long run. Oh, I'm with you, Fish. I've kind of done the same thing. Sorry for your MS, Serenity.
Yeah, it sucks.
What does that do then? Does that just make you more irritable in situations? Is that why it's kind of harder for you? Like, at least you have an excuse. I'm just an asshole. I don't know. But yeah, I am sorry you have to deal with that. That's no fun. It's gotta be kind of tough. I've had friends that have had Crohn's disease too, and I don't know how they do it. It's amazing, some of them. They are absolute troopers. Oh, Gabe, your hand is beat up. What'd you do? You got in a fight with a wall?
Yeah. Just, you know, like how the wall is spackled.
Was that when you were moving something upstairs?
No, I was trying to walk upstairs and it just like...
You were walking?
Well, I was going up the stairs with a box.
So you were moving stuff?
Yeah, and I bumped into the wall. And
that's
just
what I asked, and you said no.
I didn't understand it.
You didn't know what I was asking?
No.
I understand. to go soon because I know we're gonna hit a point of hunger, and we hit it pretty quick, and we don't even realize it, and then we'll start arguing, and we'll be like, oh my god, we're hungry. It's like, oh yeah, whoops. So probably within the next 15 minutes.
I don't think I saw that video, Sagi. Was it a video or was it a GIF? A GIF.
Can we just call them Jeffs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Fish, do you have like ADD or something that just has an effect on you being able to focus on stuff? Is it that sort of thing? Or like is it just you're not interested in anything? Oh, physical fatigue. Oh, I understand, Serenity. That sucks. Soggy said it's in the game section.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a trooper for doing it anyway, Serenity. Good job. Well, that's neat. I like that you can appreciate art, Soggy. I think that's cool. Like some people that don't do art just kind of turn it off and don't even try to understand or enjoy it, but you seem to like it, and I think that's cool.
Oh yeah, I just saw it. It looks really cool.
I'm gonna have to look later. I apologize.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cute, storyboard. Were you guys able to connect on that then, or? Oh, that's cute. Good job, Spongy. Do you get to actually post it, or do you have to not post it because it's like inner working sort of stuff? Good job finishing it, though. That's great. We so proud. Gabe and I were done when we went out last night, and we were hungry, and we got enough just to make like one meal, and that's why we have to go out again because we're dummies. Oh yeah, for dungeon drawing kicks. That's right.
Oh yeah.
He told me it made him respect what I do, and that I have to put on myself work and give it before. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that your friends always bag on you for making art, though. That's weird. Thanks, Jeff Weber. It's
Bye,
good to have
Jeff.
you. We'll see you around. We miss you.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people who don't understand art, like.
It's draining for them to try to.
No, I think it's just like they don't want to try to understand it, so they come off being jerks.
I could see that. That's kind of how Jason was. I would ask him his like feedback, and immediately he'd start off with, "Well, I don't know anything about this." And I'm like, "That's okay. Just tell me what you initially think, like, because it's still feedback. You know, whether or not someone knows anything about art, they know what they like and don't like, and usually there's some, logic or rooting to that regardless."
Fish, I think like I've seen that happen amongst a lot of people. that they can't have, especially going to anime conventions. A lot of the younger kids that we talk to, you can't have normal conversations with them.
They're so used to articulating via text and
Mhm.
being able to go back and edit it for how they want to be. But when they're in person, like Gabe said, they can't do that.
They shut down, or they like, well, and then they get nervous, and then they shut down, and like, well, anyways, it's never
I
mind.
usually catch myself saying, "It's okay, keep going."
Yeah.
You know, like I want to hear what you have to say, and then they're like, "Oh, well, I was just gonna say that," you know. And it's just be patient with them, you know. We get it.
I think it's fine with the younger crowd because like they're young, but
Yeah.
when you get adults talking like that, it's like, oh man, like.
Well, then I feel like no one ever gave them the time of day to hear them out.
Well, I think also it's that they spend too much time on digital medias talking to people,
That could be too.
and
Yeah.
maybe they have jobs where they don't interact with other people, which is really, it's pretty detrimental.
It can be, I think, yeah. Storyboard, well, we're glad to be that community for you, and we're glad you're here. Compare your own capabilities with other people the same age. No, absolutely not, Max.
Well, if you want to apply for certain schools, for example.
I don't think you should compare yourself to anybody,
No.
though.
No,
That's just gonna hurt.
you can go, most schools you can go at any age.
Yeah.
Like literally any, you could be 96 and
Yeah,
Yeah,
and never feel like you're less because you might be older or something than someone else. You're all on your own journey. Just, it's better to never compare yourself to others regardless of age or, you know, style. Like some people who work for Disney, let's say, they've never gone outside and had social lives or friends or anything because they put all their time into Disney, and that makes sense for them. So, I mean, you put your time into what you feel is valuable, so that's another reason you can't ever compare yourself. I think it's just going to get you down if you're like, man, they're so much better and they're my age, and, you know, I wish I could be better. It's like, no, you know, don't worry about it. You're on your own journey. You're going to put in as much as you want to put in, too. You know, so...
I mean, I went to school basically when I was 27. Like, I went to college at 27. And I was nowhere near...
And you didn't graduate high school either, right?
I didn't graduate high school. I went back and I got a, what is it called? GED when I was 23, maybe 24, just so that I could have it. So that if I was trying to get another job, I could say at least I have a GED. But otherwise, yeah, no, I went back to school at 27. And, everyone I knew that was a professional artist was younger than me, and I didn't become a fully fledged professional artist until I was like 29 or 30ish. So yeah, don't worry about what other people are doing.
It's honestly however much you want to put in any point in your life, because you could be a master in the making, not even know it, and you started way late. You know, there's no rules to this stuff is what I had to learn. And when you find there are no rules, you can't really screw up, you know?
So yeah, I think maybe at some, I mean, you're still young. I think at some point you might actually learn to become patient, because I did. Like, I used to be not patient about everything, but over time, I think that's something that you grow out of. Huh?
Do you grow out of it, or do you acquire patience?
I think you acquire it, because you stop moving so fast, and you stop wanting. You can wait for things, you know.
Yeah, I think it is an age thing with patience.
Then again, some people are very impatient. I think it's the life that you lead, really. Because I mean, I'll wait like 30 minutes for my drink at Starbucks. You know, if it means that they're busy, that's fine. Other people want to like throw the building upside down.
And I'll be okay doing some things patiently, and then other things, like for some reason I'm like, no, this needs to happen now, and I won't even have like a good reason, you know. So I don't know. To each their own. That's still very valuable, Spongy. I'm proud of you for, you know, letting that go a bit. Daily art is definitely something that, you know, should be loose, should be fun, you know? Because then, you know, when you do a really good piece later, you're going to know what you're doing, and you're going to have a lot more practice under your belt.
No, fish. If you're in high school, nobody's gonna understand you until you're out of high school. So don't.
Oh yeah, don't
Yeah.
even worry about that.
Don't worry
Even
about
college, you're gonna
Yeah.
still have that problem.
You,
Like
nobody's-
just now, I feel like we're getting a grip on things, and we're
Yeah.
in our 30s.
You
so
will not understand you, and people will not understand you until you're way older.
Storyboard still doesn't buy it that you're not in your mid 20s.
Oh yeah.
He's
well,
past his mid 30s.
yeah.
How about that? This is what a good, diet and exercise and not destroying yourself will do.
Max, if it's that rough,
Just do your homework and work
yeah.
hard.
I don't know how old you are or what your portfolio looks like right now, but chances are if you don't get in there, well, it's not the end of the world, dude. You know,
Am I holding the sub shrub?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, cute. Oh my god. He's so cute. Hey, you should give me my flower crown.
Oh, okay.
Just put a little squiggle over the top. And it's split screen. You could have given yourself more room than that.
That's alright. This is like I don't know.
Give me my mole. What is this? Oh, Spongy.
Mm-hmm.
You're easy to get along with too.
Yeah.
How old are you? You're not our age. Aren't you 2.5 decades old? So you're 25. I feel like 25 and up, that age group is like easy to get along with everywhere in there because everybody's kind of out of school and is starting careers and stuff, so everybody's somewhat serious at that point. I feel like before 25, you're not as serious.
You're still drinking and being
You're still
an
drinking
idiot.
and partying and stuff, and people don't know what they want. But yeah, we're not that old. Maybe if we were over 40, there'd be more of a disconnect.
Yeah.
I could see that. Self-taught in the last few years. You can make it, Max. You
Yeah.
just gotta, you'll get out what you put in. So if you really work hard and you do all the art you can and you kind of cater what you're doing to what you know they'd want and what you want, you can't lose.
Max, what does your portfolio look like right now? Or do you have like an Instagram? I mean, or maybe what school is it too? Because I mean, we could probably give you some pointers if we could see what your stuff looks like, or like a mass compilation of your stuff, so that we know where you're at. Because I know sometimes you gotta like pay an application fee to apply for some schools.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like if you're not at a certain point, don't waste your money on application fees if you know you're not gonna get in.
Storyboard, I would not have guessed you're 18. You are very mature for your age. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, we love you guys.
Yeah.
And, fish, everybody says things they regret sometimes. That's why we usually have that 3-strike rule. Even with trolls. Usually trolls get it within the first, 10 minutes or whatever. But, I realize that the things you've said, and you've been in here a lot, that you've probably said things and you didn't mean them and you didn't know, and we just, we bring it up, but I think your intention is good. And we try to lead by intention,
Oh yeah, I forgot, Max. I forgot that you're the.
Hi, Nightshade.
You do all that awesome stippling.
Yeah, he's a stippler.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean.
Maybe like depending on what the college is, maybe do some other things other than stippling. I don't know. Back me up if you think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I see a lot of other stuff on your Instagram too, which is great. I think at this point, like where you're at artistically, like your level, I think you've got a chance. Especially like you don't have to be such a master to get into a lot of art schools, but
maybe just showing that you're serious about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they want, just to know that you know what you want, and you want this school, and you want what you can get out of this school. I actually feel like that's more the thing. I feel like art schools that screen people aren't necessarily looking for talent, but are looking for sincerity and the fact you want it, and that that you're trying to get it and all that. Because, I don't know, I mean, maybe some, super upclass schools that want to brag about their students and how good their students are, maybe. But I think it's more about just seriousness.
I think there is obviously there's a level of quality that they're gonna be looking for, but 3%. I mean, hey, dude. I mean, it could also be 3% of your country, which is maybe might not be that much. You know, I mean, compared to like if you're in America.
Yeah,
or
what is
you're
the 3%?
Yeah, if you're in China, 3% is
Whoa.
a lot. You know, but it's relative. You know, and also if they say 3%, it might be more than that. You know, they might just be saying it to like scare off people who aren't that great, and you know, like they're not that serious about it.
Because you know, I think they do the same thing with Twitch.
Yeah.
In the partnership thing, like people who really want the partnership are gonna stick with it, despite the odds of becoming a partner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same with the art school. Like the people that don't get scared off from that are gonna be the ones that actually put in the effort and want it. And I think they want people that want it, as opposed to the schools we went to, where it's basically hand them a check and you get a diploma.
Yeah, I'd take that anyway.
Yeah, it was actually, I think it was detrimental to be around a lot of people who didn't take art as seriously as we did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have probably rather been in a school that screened people, because I was probably one of the only ones in my graduating class that knew they were going to do art forever.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones were still dabbling, and they weren't sure what they wanted to do, stuff like that, and it's tough. And Serenity's right. I mean, you can always reapply, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do they kick you out, or like, are you allowed to reapply?
Just do that thing, Max, where you just close your eyes and send it out, and then just try to forget about it until you hear back. And then if it's a negative, just be like, all right, I'll try again next year.
Yeah.
And then just try again next year. Keep trying.
Because I mean, otherwise, what's the point of being scared about that? It's not like you're not putting your arm out to maybe get it cut off. You know, your art hand. It's not like you're putting your art hand under a blade, and it might get cut off. No.
Well, you're losing money potentially, but that's okay. Especially if you really want this. You have to really tell yourself, do I really want this? And then assess it based off that, you know.
Also, are there other options? I mean, are there other schools? Like, just because it's that prestigious, maybe there's another school that's, maybe not as prestigious, but you can still get the same amount of work out of it.
If I were you, I would see maybe you've already done this, but talk to somebody who's gone to the school and see what their personal opinion is, because a lot of the time these prestigious schools really depend on their reputation to get people in there, but the people don't end up actually getting much out of it. Like they might be like, oh yeah, it's a prestigious school, but man, I didn't get, jack from it or whatever. Like, make sure it's what you want, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, like, I want to be an animator. Oh, yeah, but we don't teach animation here. It's like, oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had known that before I signed up. You got coleslaw.
Oh, it's free to apply? Then you got nothing to lose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if, like, some require submission fees, but if they don't, just keep submitting.
Well, yeah.
Flood them. I don't know.
All right.
Coleslaw, hell yeah.
You want to go soon at 7 o'clock?
Yeah. I'm actually happy that I went with the gold grass.
Oh, it's quite reputable. Well, keep trying, dude.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. And if you need a pick-me-up, come back to us and be like, I got rejected 3 times. We'll be like, well, let's talk about it. What do you think you're doing wrong? We can totally talk with you about that.
That, or maybe look at other people's portfolios who are going there or who have gone there.
You should do that anyway.
Yeah.
Actually. But let us be kind of a mirror in case you're just totally out of ideas. We can absolutely help.
It might even be really smart to look for people who are going there currently, and maybe, I don't know, like become friends with them and see what their portfolio looked like when they first got in.
Hi, Bodie.
Hey, Bodie.
We're gonna have to do our emotes for Greg.
Oh yeah.
I keep forgetting that. I'm gonna write that down. Jeez. guess, Max, what do you want to get out of the college with? Like, you're going there to get where? She's not a shroom dealer. She's taking it from him. He's helping.
I do like that, though. That's a good idea.
Damn.
That's a good way of putting it.
Here, little child, get addicted. Damn it, I didn't even think that it could be interpreted that way. Damn. Good eye. way to call it the weakness in the picture. I like it. That actually helps me. Went to the gym yesterday, ran 4 miles. Yeah! High five! Absolutely destroyed. Good. However, you probably should have started off easier, Nightshade. I usually say if you're getting back into it, you know, do 20 minutes, then 30 minutes, then 40 minutes, you know, and work up to that. But regardless, you did something, and that's commendable. Good work.
That's awesome.
Stealing the children's innocence. Here, little guy. Try this side. I like candy. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Here you go. Hey man, art's about interpretation. If you get a kick out of an old granny mouse giving a little baby mouse hallucinogenics, get on with your bad self. I don't care. That's awesome. Actually, I wonder about that now. Do you think majority of people will be like, oh, he's helping her? Or do you think they'll be like, damn, what's going on?
I think some people will.
Grandma's gonna get lit. I don't know. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even know that that could be misconstrued, but that's awesome, actually. I didn't even think about it. I'm down with it.
It doesn't look sinister at all. It's a beautiful drawing.
Oh, thank you, Bodhi. Oh, but the underlying, we never know. Yeah, good job, Nightshade. I can't wait to get another gym membership. I had to cancel the one that we were at since we moved. And now it's like my body's wrecked because of moving, so I have to wait for that. And then we have a convention, so then it's probably going to be around March when I can actually get another membership. Oh, thank you, Bodhi. I appreciate that. There you go, Max. You got it. Grandma's gonna get lit. I lose my arthritis. No, Ushi! Oh. You know, I guess, Ushi, you could figure out another way to paint or draw in the meantime and do one of those really long, far away drawings. Maybe even have it like linked to your arm and just, you know. Love the granny wrist comes. Thank you. And the boys panel. Why, thank you much. I appreciate that. Pantaloons are for scallywags. Oh, because britches are what's up, huh? Cool people. Chomp. Chomp! Okay. We have been streaming for 3 hours, so I think we're gonna go. Gabe, do you want to explain again what you were doing?
Today I was doing hourly comics day. So every hour you draw a comic. I mean, you can start today. You can start it right now. Basically, they're like biographical comics. So you can even do one panel if you want.
I was gonna go try to find the link again. Can you put the link in?
There's no link. There's nothing.
You linked something earlier.
No, it was just if you just search tags anywhere for hourly comics day, then you'll find stuff.
Huh.
But yeah.
It's okay, Nightshade. Don't worry about it. This whole week has been up and down for us. Thank you, Storyboard. We'll be back on Saturday on Gabe's stream. Because 12 p.m. CST. Because 12 p.m. CST. Do you know what you're going to be working on?
No.
Working on?
Not a damn clue.
I might be working on a commission on Sunday.
Maybe I'll be working on some dungeon dudes. Oh.
Dungeon dudes. Hi, Lightsy. Bye, Lightsy. Okay, so yes. In Nightshade, I'm going to be working on your stuff soon. But yeah. Aw, Nightshade, thank you. We missed you too.
Yeah.
We love Twitch.
Yeah,
It's a wonderful
wonderful.
place for us. And especially now that we have so much more space, we're going to be a lot more chill and not uptight. Hopefully. Just give us some time to ease in. We scrambled to get the place up and going. So we'll be back Saturday in Gabe Stream. I'll put it in here in a second. 12 p.m. CST. Saturday. Twitch.tv/Galstar.
Ooh, excuse me.
Nope. And then we'll see you back then on Sunday too on mine. But regardless, we love you guys and we missed ya.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming and seeing us again.
Oh, yes.
Keep the Discord lit, alright?
Yeah.
We're proud of you guys. Sorry we haven't been in it, but you know why.
You know.
Anyway,
Bye.
we'll see you later. Goodbye.